Whoa! Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Geeking Poetic Podcast. I'm Larry.
I'm Vito.
And in this episode, we are going to be talking about one of our all-time favorite directors, actors, writers, comic book guys.
Podcaster.
Does everything. He's a huge influence on us. We are talking about Kevin Smith. We're going to be talking about all of the movies he's done. We're going to even talk about, podcasts, comics. The guy's done everything. And we're even going to talk about the movies that you guys picked to be your favorite Kevin Smith movies. We're even going to talk about some of the ones you guys said weren't not so good. Yeah. And then we're going to get into our top 5 favorite Kevin Smith movies of all time. So strap in, lay back, and we'll see you there. What do I got here? You know what this is?
Sure do.
You know, because one of them's real and the other 3 are figments of your fucking imagination! What's going on, guys?
What is up?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going? Seems like we were just here.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't. I mean, it was a while ago, but...
It seems like it.
Yeah, I think it's just because for a while there we were taking so long
That's true.
in between podcasts, and now, by gum, we're
getting on a roll.
we're getting our shit together. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Geeking Poetic Podcast. I am, of course, one of your hosts. I'm Larry Roberts. Across the table from me is...
Vito Marchese.
And over across the room, keeping us in fucking line, is...
Mr. Pickles.
And then next to Mr. Pickles... and next to Mr. Pickles, we have...
Megan Guess.
Yeah. You know what it's kind of like? Did you either of you guys ever watch Powerpuff Girls?
I've seen clips of it.
Okay.
No.
You never watched it? Yeah. And Powerpuff Girls, there was the little guy who was the mayor and everything. He was a little goofy. He kind of looked like Mr. Pickles, actually. But he was supposed to be like in charge, but he was kind of inept. Not saying that Mr. Pickles is
I
inept.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I know.
If I were you.
Yeah. But it turns out that his secretary was the one who was really like, she was the one that was like a badass and was totally like in charge of everything. And like, so I think that, well, Mr. Pickles is kind of...
He's the front man.
Well, you know, he's the figurehead.
Yeah.
But really, Megan's the one that's kind of, you know, keeping all the shit together.
I think everybody's figured that out from our teasers by now.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, if any of you folks out there, I don't know how many there are of you, all 2 or 3 of you probably. If any of you folks out there don't watch our little teaser videos that we put up on YouTube, you really need to.
Yeah, you really should. You're missing out.
They're pretty funny. Not to toot our own horn, but
No,
we're going to toot it because it's pretty damn funny.
Yeah. we're 3 fucking torn hooters?
Torn hooters.
There ain't, let me tell you something right
Is
now.
that like a botched silicone implant job going wrong or something?
We're all, right now, if you can't tell by looking at us or hearing us, we are all a bunch of botched boob jobs. We are a bunch of torn hooters. You don't want torn hooters. No, we are a bunch of horn tooters when it comes to those teasers, because I think they're pretty funny.
Yep.
I like the one that we did for this one, the mall rats.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Thing.
Yeah.
And if you just want to see, and if any of you, again, if you don't watch them and you just listen to us and you'd just love to see Megan get one up on us all the time, on us stupid boys, you need to watch
Last
those.
few.
Yeah.
Especially
the last few. But yeah, it's good stuff. So what's going on, guys?
I am starting to feel a bit under the weather,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So,
It's kind
That sucks because every time you get like that, then I get like that.
yeah.
And then inevitably I get like that. And I feel like we're all a little like
Yeah,
we're
there's
all
gonna be a
a
lot
little
of sniffling.
sniffly.
Yeah.
we're all a little sniffly. So
Now I'm going to be thinking about it the whole time.
I know, me too. I'm like trying not to sniff right now.
Boy, oh
I swear we're not doing coke in here.
Yeah. So we do apologize in advance.
We're all gacked up on Krell talking about fucking like yoga hosers and shit. You know,
Oh God.
like it's fucking Bratzies, man. Dude, makes me hungry and fascist. But so hopefully some of you guys have if this is your first time joining us, welcome. Thank you for checking us out. But hopefully a lot of you are coming back, and the last thing we did was of course the Halloween episode, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so this isn't really, I mean, we're putting this out on Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all of you in America, in the United States of America.
Canada,
they just had
yours.
theirs.
Yeah, we missed you guys. Sorry.
Yeah, theirs was in October.
Mm.
So happy belated Thanksgiving to all our Canuck friends up there. Fittingly enough, since Kevin Smith has the whole Canadian connection thing and stuff, unfortunately, with his
last couple.
His
Canadian.
Yeah,
what was the move to Canada from that? From Jersey.
We'll get into that when we talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into that when we talk about the movies. He's always had like a connection with Canada because he actually went to school for I think he went to film school up there. I think it was in Canada. If it wasn't Canada, it was like upstate New York or something like that. I might be able to look that up, but I'm pretty sure isn't Scott Mosier the producer of Kevin's movies? I'm pretty sure he's Canadian. I'm almost again. I'll look that up. We're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, so whereas the last episode was about the scary movies, which was very obviously about Halloween. Plus, we had the audio cast, we call it, where there was no YouTube video for it yet. All the audio casts we're going to put up on YouTube eventually. Maybe with a slideshow or something like that, so if you're one of those people that just insists on getting all your content from YouTube, you'll be able to hear it on there. But we're going to be doing both audio as well as the video. The ones like this, for obvious reasons, especially when you're talking about movies and stuff, it's going to be video.
And we are trying a new setup this week.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
We
We got a new,
yes.
so you might notice we have the screen here. It just to be just complete disclosure, it was taking too goddamn long to put all those photos individually into the actual editing and stuff. So we're kind of doing the more Joe Rogan-y kind of setup sort of thing where we have a monitor. But plus it's also cool because this way Megan can access photos and things, and when we're referencing things, rather than it being after the fact, if you watched our other videos, the photos got added in during the editing process. Now we can, in real time, have the photos here, and me and Vito can look and be like, oh, yeah, look at that fat jagoff,
And then eventually we can do a John Mann style where we'll get a pad and we can write on the picture.
Right?
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh,
Future
boy.
goals.
I'm just making more work for us, man.
I was just gonna say, but Megan's already thinks it's gonna be at a point where people are gonna see the screenshot of the actual monitor, and she's gonna have her little virtual pen thing over there, and she's gonna be like, "These guys are assholes. Someone please save me from this." Writing like little notes. We're gonna be
everybody.
oblivious. Me and Vito will be totally doofy oblivious to it and stuff, talking about our shit, and Meg's just gonna be writing all sorts of shit, graffiti on the wall, so to speak. But anyway, yeah, so we're trying new things. We're still, this is still
Very new.
Yeah, we're still a really new podcast, which is evident by how few people actually watch and listen to this, I think. But it's getting there. We get new people all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We sure do.
On that note, to the people who have been subscribing, and some of them are already signed up as Patreons and stuff like that, and the people who even just share our stuff around and everything, and like tell other friends about it. Man, thank you so much, because it's not easy getting the name out. You would think like, oh, well, the internet, man, you can get out there. Yeah, well, the problem is there are
so much out there.
Yeah,
Everybody has a podcast.
Yeah,
so
and as Carl Sagan would have said, there are millions and billions, millions and billions of podcasts, and YouTube videos and viral videos and all this other shit out there. So it's hard, you know.
It's not easy being this cheesy,
You stole the words right out of my mouth.
right?
As Chester Cheetah would have put the stamp on it and said, yeah. Actually, it's pretty easy for us to be cheesy. It's hard for us to get it out there and have people actually watch and listen and appreciate our cheesiness.
True.
But we're trying and we're enjoying ourselves. We're learning new things as we go. We're still getting new gear. We got new cameras and new monitors and all sorts of shit just to make it more convoluted and difficult for us, right? But
It's supposed to make it easier.
Yeah.
it does and it doesn't.
I think it's a fucking standstill. It doesn't matter how much more new gear we get, the workload still rises up to the same amount, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a never-ending balance.
Well,
Eh,
yeah, I mean, we got the monitor thing to make it easier on you because Vito does predominantly basically all the editing stuff.
and does it amazingly, might I add.
He sure
Thank you.
does.
He's kicking ass with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've come along so far from where we started with this, basically having little to no clue to how to even do this. And I
Mhm.
mean, I can remember it used to take us half an hour or more just to get the audio dialed
Yeah.
in. Now we came in and the audio was ready in 2 minutes. It was great, knock on wood,
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx ourselves, patting ourselves on the back too much, but anyway, yeah, we do this with the monitor to make it easier on Vito, but then we're just going to go, okay, well now do this.
Let's add another camera.
Let's add another camera in the mix. I mean, but whatever. We'll figure it out.
No, this is a way easier setup than what I normally have to do, guys, because I literally have to sit there, watch the entire 3 hours or whatever that we do, then edit everything in real time. Then I have to go back and figure out where all the picks are. I'm sure there's an easier way for me to do it, but
Right.
We're still learning.
yeah. But for right now, this seems like it's going to be a really simple process, and it frees up more time for us to do other stuff.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because we do have other segments, other videos that are going to be premiering soon, I hope. All three of us are going to have new individual segments that are going to be kind of we're going solo. It's like when Kiss put out the 4 solo albums, but they still were in Kiss, but they did. So we're going to do our 3 solos. So Meg's got something she's going to be doing. Vito's got a project he's going to be doing. Of course, you already did do your game thing.
yeah.
But that's not even necessarily going to be solo because we're going to be doing more of the game videos, but we're going to be involved sometimes in it. So we've got plans for that.
But these are what Larry's talking about specifically for each of us to do pretty much solo, I think.
Yeah.
Right,
you know.
right. And I've got something, and hopefully before the end of the year, we're going to get those out.
Speaking of the end of the year, we should probably save some of this for the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're going to spoil anything by telling them that what
No.
we're going to do at the end of the year, because obviously we've got this month, we've got what we're calling the Thanksgiving podcast, which is going to be, if you haven't guessed already, it's about Kevin Smith. And then we're not going to reveal what the Christmas one is going to be yet. We're also going to do our audio casts, where in the audio casts we talk a little bit more generally about stuff. It's not quite so specific like these podcasts are. We're going to have those. We're going to have these. But then at the end of the year, or maybe the start of the year, basically New Year's, we're going to put out a 2018 first year of Geeking Poetic recap. And that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We have a lot of ideas.
A lot of ideas, a lot of stuff you guys haven't seen, because
Yes.
we've got outtakes and bloopers and fuck ups and just silly stuff. And honestly, some of that is even better than the actual shit we
It'll
put
make
out.
you appreciate the teasers even more,
Yeah.
really.
Oh yeah, especially the teaser outtakes.
Yes.
There's some fucking comedy gold there that- at our expense,
Yes.
So so if you're interested in that, make sure you keep your eyes and ears open for the end of the year thing. But that's not going to come out till New Year's. Not to get ahead of ourselves. As of right now, what we are dealing with is one of our favorites. Which is not to say we love everything that he's done, because we sure don't.
That's for sure.
But also a guy that influenced us. I know it influenced me to do this kind of stuff, because not only was Kevin Smith highly influential in terms of being an independent filmmaker and a do-it-all guy, you know, much like a Quentin Tarantino and those guys. But Kevin spoke for our generation, you know. I mean, he made movies that spoke to us, still speak to us, because we're the same age, come from the same place. But also Kevin was pioneering in podcasting. I mean, with the whole Smodcast thing, you know, he was pioneering with that, big influence on me. His podcasts were some of the first podcasts that I really got into. So yeah, we are obviously, as I said, we're talking about Kevin Smith. Anybody that's watching or listening to this, you know who the hell Kevin Smith is. You wouldn't be bothering otherwise. So you're certainly not coming here for our good looks and charm, I'm sure. You're just going, okay, what do these three assholes have to say about Kevin Smith now? But yeah, just real quick, because I always do this, starting with you, Vito. Like, when did you first discover Kevin Smith?
It was late in the game.
Okay.
Probably early 2000s, I have to say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was either Clerks or Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I forget which one it was.
Okay.
Okay.
But I remember the first time I saw Jay and Silent Bob, I was like, this is fucking hilarious, dude. Holy shit.
Right.
And then I saw Clerks, or if I saw Clerks first, I don't remember. But Clerks, I was like, man, this is really fucking cool. This guy did it by himself, and
Right.
all the referential stuff was really cool. It reminded me of Tarantino a lot, you know,
Right.
in the dialogue and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool. What about you, Meg?
I was actually probably around the same time frame. I was in college, so 99 to 2003, somewhere in there somewhere. I think my first one was Mallrats
Okay.
or Clerks. I can't remember anymore. I want to say it was Mallrats, but I could be completely wrong. So Clerks or Mallrats was my first one I saw.
Okay.
And I remember Jay and Silent Bob coming out
Okay.
and seeing that later. But
Yeah.
What you obviously liked it.
I did. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like Mallrats, I guess, spoke to me more.
Okay.
The girls in the shopping and
Yeah, I used to hang out at the mall a lot when I was a kid. So.
Did you?
Oh, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Mostly the video game arcade, but yeah, I know the...
Well, if you were an 80s, 90s kid like we were, I mean, we're all close in age to Kevin and his ilk. Yeah, the mall was such a...
Dude, that was the place to be, man.
Well, and that was the thing about all his movies. I mean, well, you know, even the first three, you know, that it dealt with convenient, you know, hanging out in convenience store, the video store, you know, the local video store, RST in Clerks and everything. You know, it's like, oh, I can relate to that. You know, I was always going to the video store, and you knew those surly clerks, and you knew the people that hung out there and frequent, and then the mall, same thing, and then comic book stores. You know, in the 90s, comic book stores was all the rage, for better or worse. So yeah, that all spoke to us. It was so timely and everything. It was the right dude with the right concepts and the right everything at the right time. Yeah, when I found like you, but I was earlier in the game. I got Mallrats on video when it first came out on video, so sometime in, I guess it had to be 95.
Yeah.
Late 95 maybe. Early 96, somewhere around there. Whenever Mallrats came out on video, I saw it, and I looked at the cover, and I saw like dudes with long hair, and it looked all obviously like comic booky and stuff, and I said, huh, okay, well, I wonder what this is about. And rented it and went, oh my God. And I loved it so much the first time I watched it. I immediately watched it again. It was over, and I'm like, I'm watching that again right now, and rewound it or whatever. Actually, I think I rented it on Laserdisc. So immediately watched it again. Didn't know about Clerks until I went back to some of my buddies. I think it was Mark Vasquez, actually, from the band Idea Men. Hi, Mark. Mark Vasquez from Idea Men told me, he said, oh yeah, that's the sequel to Clerks. And I was like, what the fuck is Clerks? And he said, oh, you didn't hear about that? And then once he told me, I was like, oh shit, I kind of remember hearing about it. Like maybe reading an article, half-assed reading an article in like Entertainment Weekly. Remember that magazine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or something like that.
E-dubs?
Yeah.
I don't think they call it E-dubs. I just said there.
They do now, Vito. They do now.
I was reading me an article in E-dubs. E-dubs. That's great. Anyway, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I kind of remember, but I didn't pay. So then I went back and I got Clerks, and I was like, holy fuck, this is... And then just the fact of realizing that it was like a universe that was being built. It was just so interesting to see how I loved stuff like that, how things tie in and you know, realizing that in Mallrats when they're talking about somebody drowning in a pool and you realize, oh, that's the funeral that they went to and Clerks and all this kind of stuff. I thought
the chick who fucked the dead guy or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
They bring up all those kind of different things, and then you're going, wait a minute, like that's the same actor that played Dante, but now he's playing some other guy, you know, and then you realize
he's a relative. He's still a Hicks.
It's supposed to be his cousin, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking brilliant. And I think that's why a lot of people liked it, is because we felt like this is like what I would make. I think that's what everybody said. It was like, this is the kind of movie I would make. These are the movies I would make, you know, because it felt like something that
just spoke to your sense of humor and your culture,
right,
you know, whatever.
You know, yeah. So, yeah, so that was how so then my first movie I saw in the theater was Chasing Amy. And then for a while there, I went and saw all Kevin's movies in the theater. I'll get more into that as we talk about the individual movies. But, yeah, so that's basically, so it doesn't sound, none of us were like there from the start. None of us were like Clerks. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are like, I discovered Clerks, you know, and everything. Yeah, all of us came back around to it later, you know. That's interesting. But, yeah, man, I mean, you know, especially for me, I owned, like I said before on the show, I owned a comic book store in the 90s up until the early 2000s. So, you know, Kevin Smith, you couldn't not know about or be into Kevin Smith because he was doing these movies, most of the time about comic book stores, comic book things. He was writing comic books, like things like I have the Chasing Dogma comic sitting right there. You know, he was writing comic. I've got the Jay and Silent Bob comic book over there. You know, he was, you know, before it became just ubiquitous and everywhere anymore, he was still going on and on about Star Wars back in the early 90s before the big return of Star Wars and everything, when Star Wars fans felt a little bit more like a cult back then, you know, like, because Star Wars it was still Star Wars, but it wasn't like it became later, you know. It was a little bit more like a bonding thing. Bro, you're all really into Star Wars too? Now it's like fucking...
You're not into Star Wars?
Yeah, now it's more like, what? You're not into Star Wars? Yeah. So there was just all those things that we related to with Kevin, and yeah, he was my boy. So here we are. We're going to talk about it. What we're going to do is we're going to count down and compare and contrast our top 5 favorite Kevin Smith movies. We're going to talk about, there'll be honorable mentions because there has to be.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about our thanks but no thanks, which are the Kevin Smith movie or movies that we just could utterly live without. And before we even get into any of that, we're going to talk about, we did a poll online, thanks to everybody that participated in the poll, and we're going to talk about what movies were loved and not loved in the poll. And there was a couple things that were kind of surprising in there, but most of it I kind of predicted. So we'll get into all that. So Kevin, we'll keep this as brief as possible. He was influenced when he was in his early 20s by seeing the movie Slacker. Have you guys ever seen the movie Slacker?
No.
I don't think I've even heard of it.
I've seen it. It's a little independent movie, much like Clerks, that was done by Richard Linklater, who did Dazed and Confused. Fucking awesome. Fucking awesome movie. Don't listen to this sad motherfucker over here. Just because he doesn't appreciate anything that happened before like 1980.
Pretty much.
Right? Yeah. It's like, what do you like that happened before 1980, Vito? Like almost nothing.
There's a couple Rush records I really dig.
A couple Rush records and some few sci-fi things, and that's about it. Otherwise, everything prior to 1980 can go suck it as far as Vito's concerned. But anyway, he was influenced by Linklater as well as like Tarantino and stuff like that. He started realizing that, this might be something he could do because I know that prior to that, he had been involved mostly in like school, like productions. Like he liked to put on like productions at school and stuff. If anybody's interested, if you watch the Clerks 10th anniversary edition, it's like a 3 DVD set. I'm sure it's probably been put out again on Blu-ray or something. I have the DVD. There's a really awesome like 2 hours so documentary all about Kevin's start getting all the way up through making Clerks and stuff, and he talks about it in there about how he used to do these like high school productions with a couple of his buddies. They came up with a whole they actually gave themselves a name, almost like you would like Second City, you know what I mean, or the Not Ready for Primetime Players and all that kind of stuff. They called themselves, they actually called themselves, I think, like Skmod, like out of, like he's got Smodcast and everything, They called themselves the Skmod something or whatever, but it's basically taken from like the Blues Brothers.
I see.
With the cops, they were equipped with Skmods, State County Municipal Offender Data System. I love the Blues Brothers. But anyway, so he did that. He saw that, and then he ended up deciding that he was going to go to Vancouver Film School. When he was in Vancouver Film School, he met Scott Mosier, who you guys that maybe if you're not that familiar with the behind-the-scenes stuff, you would know Scott Mosier from all his appearances in Kevin Smith movies and stuff. He was in Clerks. He played Willem.
Oh, okay.
Far out, man.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that reportedly Veronica sucked his being one of the 37 dicks
In a row?
in a row. He was Willem in Mallrats. He was the stage manager guy for the game show. Was it Roddy? Was that his name?
Maybe.
He's like, what he was supposed to be. He was like, he had the headset on, that was, he ends up getting knocked out basically. But anyway, he was in that. He's the tracer guy in Chasing Amy.
Oh, you're just a tracer, man.
You're just a fucking tracer,
yeah.
man. Yeah. That's Mosier. Mosier's great. He's appears in small parts, and he also does the podcast and stuff. He does Smodcast with Kevin. Mosier, I fucking love Scott Mosier. He's, as much as Kevin is wonderful, but a big part of Kevin's success was the good luck and benefit of having been surrounded by other people who were awesome, that in various ways, whether it was Mosier, whether it was Jason Mewes, just happening to know Jason Mewes, guys like Brian Johnson and Walt Flanagan, who most of you people would know as being from Comic Book Men, but you also know, Walt and Brian were fucking Walt and Steve Dave, as in like right here. They're right here. I'll pull it out, and I even got it signed years ago by Walt Flanagan. Tell him, Steve Dave. It's just such a good gag too, because again, I owned a comic book store, so I was that guy, and I knew a bunch of these guys, But yeah, Walt Flanagan, really super nice, awesome guy.
We met him the first time we went to the stash.
Yeah, we should talk about that real quick. So we just, in timely enough manner, Vito and I just played out on the East Coast with November's Doom. Oh, God, what was it, a week and a half ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just out there doing some stuff on the East Coast about a week and a half ago, and we decided to make a little extra time for ourselves to cruise through Red Bank, New Jersey, which is where Kevin Smith is from, where he got started, where a lot of these movies are based out of or roundabouts. And he has his comic book store, Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. And we popped through there. We've been there. I've been there 3 times. You've been there twice. Because the first time I went there, you weren't in the band yet. And that was real brief. That first time I went there, we were literally in and out like so quick. But that last time we went was cool, and then this time it was awesome. It was interesting. We noted, and people might be like, "Well, duh," but did you bother going on after we left? Did you bother going on and looking at any footage or photos from the store?
No, I
Because
forgot.
it was interesting because when I watched Comic Book Men all these years, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the store." But then we walked into the store the other day, and we were like, "This doesn't look like the same store. Like it doesn't. It looked different to me." So I'm thinking, it's not. It can't be the same store. Although I know they also had a West Coast location too.
Yeah,
so
they might have done the show at the West Coast.
it's
one.
possible. But I mean, we were in the
Because
one.
I even just remember the first time I went with you in what 06 or I don't forget something like that.
early
05, yeah.
05, something
And
like that.
I thought the store was much bigger back then. Because I remember they had the Blunt and Chronic Man or Blunt Man and
Blunt
Chronic,
Man and Chronic,
like
yeah.
that car that they have. I thought that was
Right.
on the floor, not.
Right, it did.
You know?
I agree, man. It did seem like it was bigger back then, and we walked in there the other day, and it just it did not seem as big. It was still a fucking awesome store. Don't get me wrong. I spent enough money there while I was there. And speaking of, we picked up that awesome shirt for her. So, yeah, you like your shirt?
I love my shirt. It's
Cool.
freaking amazing.
Yeah, so they had it was a great store. I picked up a bunch of stuff. I got I got a great complete set of the official Marvel handbook of the Marvel universe that came out back in like 83, 82, 83. Loved those when I was a kid. It was literally it's like encyclopedia stuff about all the superheroes and villains and stuff up to that time. It was like super. It's like how I learned about a lot of stuff, you know. It was great. Anyway, they had a really good deal on it. I highly suggest if you're in the area, go check out Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, Red Bank, New Jersey. They're open 7 days a week. And Mike was working and everything. You know, it seemed real nice and stuff. It was cool. Yeah, it's great. Anyway, I don't even remember where I was going with all of this stuff. But, you know, he's surrounded himself with a lot of like really good people that were talented. Another guy he met in film school up in Vancouver was Dave Klein, DP Dave, who filmed Clerks, filmed a lot of it was the cameraman for a lot of those movies of his. And I think the way Kevin Smith movies look is also a big part of their appeal. Like I always liked the way he framed shots and the way that. It's like especially, I mean, obviously Clerks was done super on the cheap, but even once you get into things like Chasing Amy, Dogma, like they look like big budget movies, but they still kind of don't. I don't know. They're just not, they still feel like a more down to earth indie film. It's like a big budget indie film. There's just something about it. There's no like super fancy, you know, crane shots of this and that. Like it just has this certain look, and even the way it's lit and everything, it feels more it doesn't feel Hollywood, at least his earlier movies. Later that changed for better or worse. But yeah, so obviously, I mean, anybody that you all know the whole story about Kevin, how he raised the almost $28,000 by selling, I think he sold his car and his comic book collection and maxed out his credit cards. He made this movie, becomes a big hit. You know, he's done amazingly for himself. Now, you know, he had the TV show, the comic book store. Now, isn't he's like got some sort of like weed store in California.
Does
Yeah.
he?
Yeah. He's got some kind of, it's called like Hollyweed or something like that. None of us here are into the weed, folks. Sorry. I mean, I'm not against it, but I'm not into it. So, yeah, Kev, which is weird because Jason Mewes was always like the total burnout, the total stoner guy, which actually got really bad for him after a while. He got into like heroin
Major
and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
To my understanding, Jason's like totally clean now, right?
Yeah. For the past few years, he's been clean.
Yeah.
I was actually reading or watched something today where it said that Kevin wasn't a smoker at all until he did Clerks, and then he got addicted to it.
Right. Yeah, he's obviously, nothing against Kevin. Some people, a lot of people are like this. Some people aren't. He's obviously the kind of guy who gets addicted to things, unfortunately. It's like, people are going to say, weed's not an addiction, man. It's like, well, okay, whatever.
Well, he said he was able to give up smoking, but now he smokes weed.
Right.
So he didn't give it up, really.
He had to,
He just switched it.
Switch, yeah, which is that's what addicts do. People that get addicted to things, that's why a lot of them, they give up that and then they get into golfing or whatever, religion, whatever fills that void. Hey, man, I get it. No, more power to him. But my point being is that Kev was always like the straight and narrow guy. Jay was always like the stoner, essentially. And now they've completely flipped because Jay's like straight and narrow and Kevin is like fucking pro weed, man, like just all about it. But at least like I don't. I guess it could be proven wrong, but I don't think hopefully we'll never hear about Kevin developing like a heroin addiction, because weed is not a gateway drug, folks, at least not for most people. But anyway,
not after seeing Jason go through it. He actually had Jason move in with him to get him clean. So
right.
I don't think he's going to go down there.
Totally. They're very different people and everything, so I mean, more, and you know what?
He's more mature now.
I was going to say, but on a different note, what did happen, just getting you more up to speed with Kevin, is Kevin did end up the same night. Wasn't he filming a special that night? He filmed like I think like a Netflix special or something, or an HBO or Netflix special, and he was doing 2 sets, and they filmed the one or whatever, and then on the break of that, he had a heart attack. He had a massive heart attack. Didn't even know he was having a heart attack. He knew he wasn't feeling well, but he had like this major heart attack, and that kind of woke him up in a lot of ways. And he has since, now Kevin, as most people know, has always been overweight. He had lost a considerable amount of weight, because at one point that motherfucker was huge. I mean, you remember the whole story about what happened with him in Southwest Airlines, right?
You have to buy like 2 seats or something like that?
No, they kicked him off. They kicked him off
really?
the plane for being too fat.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They kicked him off. That was a big deal, man. Yeah. So, I mean, he was a big boy. I mean, that's not cool. I actually like Southwest Airlines quite a bit, but that was not cool. But yeah, they kicked him. They kicked him off the plane. I mean, so he admittedly, I mean, the guy's got a show that was called Fat Man on Batman, where they talk about Batman. So he's, he's never made bones about that. He knew he was a fat fuck or whatever,
Fly, fat ass, fly.
Yeah. So he always knew that. But anyway, he after the whole heart attack thing, he's had like a major turnaround, as you see here, man. I mean, he has lost. Look at him. He's lost tons of weight. He looks like Paul.
Yeah.
He looks like our singer. Our singer's another guy that lost a lot of weight, mainly for health reasons and stuff, because he was having some issues. And Paul looks amazing now. And yeah.
This transformation reminds you like a shit ton of Paul.
Yeah,
just watching all the
and quick too, because Paul, both Kevin and Paul, well, that's what happens when it becomes not. I mean, both of them, obviously, it's a conscious choice but when you get faced with like
major health issue,
it's literally do or die, man. You got to fucking
dire consequences, and then just I also think a big part of it is once you get that ball rolling and whatever it is that motivates you, whether it's somebody that personally that motivates you or something that happens that motivates you, once you get that right motivation to do that, then you get that ball rolling, man. It's great, and that's one to grow on.
Yeah. Wasn't his daughter a huge factor in him
Yeah.
losing the weight? She convinced him to go vegan or something.
Yeah, well,
Vegetarian.
now, right? Yeah, now
he's giving up turkey. Right at Thanksgiving, we make him our Thanksgiving episode, and he's giving up turkey.
Yeah, we chose
Damn.
we chose Kevin Smith. It had nothing to do with that because that was just a recent news bit, and we decided months ago we were going to do Kevin Smith for Thanksgiving episode, and then he just announced that he's giving up turkey and is like imploring people to give up eating turkey and all this stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, well,
save the turkeys.
I don't blame him. That's nice, you know. I debate about that kind of stuff all the time, and I've gone back and forth over the last 7 or 8 years with eating meat, not eating meat. I've gone through periods where I don't, and I'm heading again towards not eating meat, or at the very least, going on more of like a pescatarian-ish diet again, maybe with a little poultry. See, just fuck birds, man. I mean, it's fucking birds.
Love birds, man.
Yeah.
That's for the birds. Yeah, I like birds too. But I don't know. There's just something about like I feel bad about eating pigs and cows and things like that. But then I look at chickens and I'm like, fucking bird's an asshole. Fuck him.
I was going to say, birds are assholes. Fuck them. I'll eat them.
I love eggs.
Mm.
I eat eggs. I love eggs.
No, you don't like...
You don't eat eggs either?
No, dude. Disgusting.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I don't know how you live, Vito.
I have the diet of a 5-year-old. It's like pizza, grilled cheese, peanut butter and jelly.
Doritos.
Or Doritos, yeah. Or like a turkey and cheese bagel sandwich.
And this is the dude that's always like, dude, I'm so aggravated with my weight, man. It keeps going.
And you wonder why.
It's like, eat something green for Christ's sakes. You know what, though? I'm surrounded by it because my roommate, Willie G, he's the same fucking way, man. He eats one green thing and he'll eat cooked spinach. That's it. Of all things, too. It's like, I mean, I like cooked spinach, but cooked spinach that's a strong flavor, man.
Yeah,
He'll eat that, but like a leaf of lettuce, he's like, oh my God, it's fucking disgusting. You know, broccoli, celery, anything. Oh, it's fucking disgusting, man. Fuck that shit. It's like, he doesn't even like eating food that's colored green. Like he's weird, man.
So no green eggs and ham, I guess. He doesn't like that.
No. He'll occasionally eat eggs, but he's not like overly enthused with eggs. He likes ham. He'll eat ham. But he's the same way, you know, give him pizza or an occasional burger, and his burger's got to be fucking plain. And
that's how I am too.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I don't know, man.
It's like I liked salads and chicken salads. Lately I've just been like, fuck, dude, I just want a hamburger or pizza, you know.
But don't you ever just like? But see, to me, it's like I totally get that because I love burgers and pizza too.
I go for like 3 months where I just eat salads twice a day, and it's great. I'll lose 40 pounds, and then all of a sudden we'll go somewhere and I'll have a burger, and I was like, why the fuck am I not eating hamburgers every fucking day of my life? Like, what am I? I'm stupid.
I was just gonna say,
you need
Vito,
a happy, healthy balance.
I don't know how to balance anything in my life. Okay, it's either one extreme or the other, and that's how I roll.
Back and forth.
Yeah, dude, you need to figure out a balance there, man, because I don't want you having a fucking heart attack or something on me. That's just, this shit's no good. There's no good.
You have to come up here and make them go to the gym.
I know. Yeah. Well, we're all fucking members of the PFit clan, Planet Fitness. You know, fucking no gym intimidation. Yeah. Yeah. I love going to the gym. We had this conversation on the trip and everything. Yeah, I wish we lived closer, dude.
I'd be going there a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I haven't been in a long time.
Because that's what we do. Is me, you, and Jess, we like influence each other to kind of be like,
yeah, well, if you're going, I'll go, but I'm not going on my own.
Right. We all kind of like are like, I'm like, hey, I'm going to the gym today. You should go. And then it's like, call Megan, you know, and Megan's like,
all right, I'll meet you there.
It's funny. And then I'm up there like running on my treadmill for like literally running for half an hour straight, just running, full on run. And I'm looking down there, and they're coming up looking at me like, we're so fucking tired.
Those stairs are hard. You hush.
Oh no!
The Stairmaster.
Oh my
Fuck
God!
that Stairmaster.
I'm not even arguing. Yeah, I can tell by looking at it. Stairs suck. I can't. I get winded going up my own. I can run for half an hour straight on that treadmill. I mean, not saying it's not fucking exhausting, but I can do it. But man, I got to walk up like 4 flights of stairs. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's different. It's totally different.
It is different. Yeah. So they go on that Stairmaster, man. They go crazy on that.
When I was doing the personal trainer thing like a couple years ago, she had me on that for 5 minutes, and at like a minute and a half, I was like, oh, I can't do this. I'm gonna fucking die. You got to get me off this thing, man. That Stairmaster
I try to climb like 50
sucks.
flights, and then I'll stop.
Ooh, 50 flights.
Man.
Yeah.
Bitches are crazy. Yeah, I get it. I mean, and then just to add insult to injury, I always go to the machines upstairs. So then when they come up to see me, now they
I have to climb
go,
the
You guys
stairs.
have it upstairs?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Our gym is rad
Yeah.
as fuck. I love our gym. I really do. Our gym is kick ass. Now this makes me want to go to the fucking gym tonight, man. It is open 24 hours.
Except for the weekends.
I might
Really?
I might do that.
Yeah.
You guys know that sucks.
Ours isn't open on the weekends.
Well, it's open.
Well,
but
it's open. It's
not
closes like
not
at
24
6
hours. Yeah.
or 7.
On
It's like that's when I want to fucking go.
I know.
That's fucking lame.
It closes at 9 o'clock on Friday night, and then it reopens at 7 a.m. and closes at 7 p.m. And then same thing Sunday. It opens at 7
Wow.
a.m. and closes 7 p.m. And then it closes at 7 p.m. on Sunday, and then reopens again at midnight. So it's closed for a whole 5 hours.
But yours is open. Fully
24/7,
24 hours. We're gonna have
7
to
days a
remember
week.
that.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, we should remember
We
that.
should
When
remember
we're
that.
just going to be like, fuck it, we're coming
We're
up
going
here.
up to Vito's.
We're going up to
Grab
Vito's.
Vito's ass, and we're going to the
Because
gym.
the only time I go to gym is 2 a.m.
Yeah,
That's the
I
only-
prefer going
you know.
at night as well. I go after work a lot of times,
Yeah.
and so that's like at like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Look at this, Kevin Smith inspiring us all.
Yeah, see, well, he'd be. You know what, Kevin? I know we're going way. People are going, wow, you guys really went off script.
Not really.
But you know what, Kevin? I can't speak for the man. I don't know the man, but I bet he would be like, that's fucking awesome that them talking about me got them inspired to talk about going to the gym and health and all that shit. And he'd be like, Vito, get off your ass, put the pizza down and go do it, And then he'd be like, but dude, I seriously miss that pizza.
Right?
So, anyway, real quick, let's just completely make a fucking right turn, hit the brakes, and segue into something else right here. I had mentioned earlier that we did a poll online where we asked you. We asked you. As crazy Joe would say, you. We asked you guys out there what your favorite Kevin Smith movie was and what your least favorite Kevin Smith movie was. The results weren't terribly shocking, but there was a few surprises. In terms of, I'm not going to bother, it's too hard to say how many there were, but just kind of ranking them. So the number one outstanding winner, according to you guys, as far as what the best favorite Kevin Smith movie was Clerks, the first Clerks.
Mm.
That seems to be
That's a given, I would
Yeah.
think, right?
the
It
universal.
should be up there, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, to say it's a given, but is it our number one?
Mm.
Well, you're going to have to just keep watching and or listening to find out where Clerks ranks. But I think generally most people are going to go with Clerks.
When you say Kevin Smith, you think Clerks.
Clerks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one. The second place movie was Chasing Amy from 1997.
That's a very
Interesting.
good one.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I guess that didn't really surprise me that much because Clerks and Chasing Amy seems to be, at least from a critical standpoint, seems to be the two that people most put up on a pedestal as saying, that's kind of like his high watermark, is those two movies. I don't disagree. Again, where I can, spoiler alert, the way you guys voted these movies in terms of ranking compared to what we voted them is probably not going to line up the same.
Not quite.
No.
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 So, So Chasing Amy it was in second place. In a close third place, surprising. Here's where we start getting a little surprising. In a close third place was Clerks 2.
And wow, okay.
Yeah. Well, Clerks 2 is we'll get more into that, I guess.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
We'll get a little bit more into that, but I will say this right now. One thing that I found out of doing this after we did this poll, that seems to be the most polarizing of his movies in terms of
Love it or hate it.
Love or hate. There were people that were effusive with their love for Clerks 2. And there were people that were effusive with how much they hated that movie. Yeah. It was interesting, man. It was, more than any of the other ones, that one seems to be the dividing line with Kevin Smith fans.
I would have thought that'd be a different one.
Yeah.
Or a couple different ones.
There's a couple that could fall into that. But again, I don't want to jump ahead because I know we're going to be talking more about this movie. It's interesting that happened because my take on that movie is a little interesting to me now because I saw it a couple times at the theater. I've watched it many times over the years on DVD. Hadn't seen it in a long time. I hadn't watched it in several years. And then just recently, in preparation for this, I was like, I need to watch all these movies again. So I watched it again. And the outcome was interesting for me. So anyway, like I said, in third place, it was definitely Clerks 2 was considered the most favorite. For fourth place, we have let me look. We have 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie.
Whoa.
So
fourth place.
Got it. Not just a 3-way, but a 4-way. It's getting super kinky. Kinky Kelly and the Sexy Stud would appreciate that one. Hey man, aren't you glad after I was like, oh boy, aren't you glad we didn't decide to do a spoof on that in the fucking make you dress up like Kinky Kelly and the Sexy Stud? Because that would have been, I couldn't do that to you, man. Ugh.
Yeah, that would have been.
That'd been a tough one. That'd be the first time Vito's like, no. I got to draw
the line.
I got to draw the line there. Anyway, yeah. So fourth place was a 4-way tie, and the 4-way tie was between Mallrats, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and Red State. So there were people that said those 4 movies were. There were some people that said each one of those 4 movies was their favorite.
Wow.
The one that most surprised me out of the 4 of those was Red State.
Yeah, me too.
Not because it's not a good movie, because again, spoilers, I think it is a good movie, but you just don't hear people talk about it that much.
Yeah.
I tried finding that anywhere. I cannot find it to watch it because I kept seeing people say that. I was like, I've got to watch this movie.
Right.
Can't find it.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I'm sure people out there are going to say, well, Megan, go on Amazon or whatever.
It's not on Amazon.
It wasn't on Amazon.
No, I looked on Amazon. I looked on Hulu and Netflix. I went to the stores. I looked for it.
Interesting. Yeah.
I couldn't find it.
I think it's a conspiracy.
Well, there was a. Well, we'll get into it when we get to the movie. But there was a.
Oh yeah, there's yeah. Well, that's yeah. We're even. I was even thinking about it when we were planning all this, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna talk about Red State. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have to be careful with what I say because there are certain people out there that are not affiliated with that movie, but were intended to be affiliated with that movie, by Kevin's, means and everything, that would probably sue us if we talk about it because that's what they fucking do.
Because that's their business. It's not the business of religion.
See this movie. That makes me want to see it anymore.
Fucking scumbags.
Yeah. The movies,
yeah,
it's great.
Well,
it's a powerful film, I think.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about it, but that's why I think it deserves to be up there. I'm glad to see that people actually voted it their favorite, but it did surprise me.
Because when you think Kevin Smith, you don't think Red State right off the bat, man.
No.
You know.
So it was cool to see people fucking come out and be like,
Throw
"Oh,
an
Red
oddball out
State."
there.
Yeah. So that was awesome. I love the oddballs. And then oddly enough, the movie that came in 5th place, this is probably the biggest surprise of them all. That there were some people that actually said it was their favorite. I went, "Whoa, okay." And you got to wonder sometimes if they're taking the piss, but I don't think they were. I think because they actually backed it up with explanation and stuff. In 5th place was Jersey Girl.
That's another one I didn't get to see.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I heard bad things about it, though. So.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'll use this time to talk about it because obviously you guys aren't going to talk about
Yeah,
Jersey
it's not
Girl.
on my list
No.
anywhere.
Right. Jersey Girl is not in my list. All right. So I'll just state that. But here's the thing. It is not, in my estimation, in my opinion, it is not as bad as people make it out to be. It's not. Now, that's not to say that it's that good either. It's got problems. But that movie, I think, was really a victim of circumstances.
A victim of circumstance.
It's a victim of circumstance. Yeah. It came out at the wrong time. First of all, it was the first of Kevin's movies to come out that wasn't part of the normal Askewniverse. You know, it didn't, wasn't going to have like the big, hilarious Jay and Silent Bob, cameo or whatever in it. It wasn't going to have, it wasn't, I mean, it was still set in Jersey. It was still, but it was the first time that he kind of went, I ended all that with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I'm done with that. I want to go on and make a different kind of movie. And I think that a lot of fans right off the bat went, well, we don't want you to make a different kind of movie. We're not interested in that. Then at the same time, he cast Affleck, which is fine in theory because he'd been in almost all the previous movies.
Mm-hmm.
But by that point, Affleck was involved with J-Lo. And
Benifer.
They created the beast known as Benifer. And there was so much negativity towards them as a couple, and in the press they were not cool, and they put out Geely, that horrible, which is considered, one of the worst movies ever. And it's a pretty bad movie. Mm-hmm. I'm one of those kind of people that tries to find the good in things, and I'll try to defend things, when people sit there and say, oh, Xanadu's a terrible movie and all these, and I'm like, no, there's good shit about that movie. There's not much good to say about Geely. It's a stupid movie. It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And
so it was Giggly.
Yeah, Giggly. That's the same movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Geely. Yeah, Geely it's pronounced. But yeah, Giggly. Oh, Giggly Wiggly. That and unfortunately, the two movies kind of got not mistaken for one another, but people, I think, in their minds, even when it came out, a lot of people sort of thought they were the same thing, and they weren't. So we're not. In fact, J-Lo's barely in Jersey Girl. She's, not to spoil it for anybody, but she's in it for I forget, 10 minutes or something like that.
She's on the fucking cover.
She dies. The bitch fucking dies.
She's not on that cover.
Well, I'm spoiling it for you people.
Liv Tyler?
She dies in the movie. So if you don't know it, anybody, I guess we should have said this earlier. There's going to be spoilers. There's spoilers in this. So if you're like, no, I didn't know, well, then stop fucking listening, okay?
So Affleck's hooking up with Liv Tyler then? Is that the basis of the movie?
Yeah, I'm guessing that little girl is J-Lo's daughter.
Yeah, he and she have a daughter. He's like a busy exec, like he's coming up in the world. He wasn't, and she dies giving childbirth. So now he's stuck being a single parent, which is like, total anathema for him. He's like, oh my God, it changes his life. He loves his daughter, but he's got a lot of anger about losing his wife and losing his weight and then being left that way, all this stuff. He ends up meeting Liv Tyler and blah, 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 blah. The little girl's funny and cute. There's some funny things. And George Carlin plays the father in it and stuff, the grandfather or whatever, that's kind of trying to help out. And it's the heart. Its heart is in the right place. It's clunky. It's clunky. It was definitely Kevin's first attempt at doing this kind of movie. It's pretty clunky, but there's some good acting in it. There's some good dialogue in it. There's some funny bits in it. It's probably, for somebody like you, it's probably not a movie you're going to be like, fuck yeah, I love that movie. You might like it, knowing the movies you are into and stuff like that. I could see you liking it. But I think, when people sit there, I agree, and I have a feeling you guys would probably agree, that say, oh, it's kind of clunky. It's a little middle of the road. Mm-hmm. Absolutely it is. But there's people that still sit there and try to say, oh, it's his worst movie. No, it's not.
It's definitely not.
No,
I haven't seen it, and I know it's not.
No, it deserves a little more respect than it does. And obviously, as going by our list, some people out there dig it enough that they actually said it was their favorite. So you know what? Cool. Good on you, people. Good for being different.
Mm-hmm. Keep an open mind.
Yeah, exactly. The movies that were in the list that did not make the most favorite list at all were Zach and Mary Make a Porno,
That's a shocker.
Which is disappointing. Yeah. We'll get more into that movie. Cop Out.
I don't agree with that one either.
Yeah. No. Tusk. And Yoga Hosers. So those 4 movies got no love. Nobody was digging on those. So now, real quick, let's move on to the least favorite, the ones that you people said, nope, we can take it or leave it, or mostly leave it. So out of those, the movie is what I was just talking about. The movie that was made first place is the least. There's 2 movies that tied for first. Okay, as being the least loved, we'll say, putting it nicely, right? The least loved. The tie was between Yoga Hosers, which is probably not going to doesn't surprise anybody. Anybody in this room, or probably anybody out there that's familiar with it. The movie that tied Yoga Hosers with first place was Clerks 2.
What?
Wow.
Yep. Fucking Clerks 2. You people out there hate Clerks 2 that much. Some of you out there hate it that much that you said.
But it was in the top 5 too, wasn't it?
Yes, that's what I said. It's the most
it's most polarizing.
Most polarizing of his movies, where it
that's a shocker
not only
right
did it make it into the top 5 of most loved, it made it into the top 5 in the tied for number 1 spot of least loved. So we're going to have some to talk about when it comes to Clerks 2, apparently. So in second place, there was a 3-way tie. There was a menage a trois of hatred. And that 3-way tie was between Jersey Girl, which I don't agree with, Cop Out, which
I don't agree with.
Yeah. I know, and Tusk, which I totally agree with. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, fucko. Yeah. Sorry. It's going to keep coming back to Kinky Kelly and the Sexy Stud. So, yeah. So you people that sat there and said that fucking, Clerks 2 is the worst of his movies. I don't know. I suspect you're into interspecies erotica, because I don't get it. I don't know. Or maybe you're not into interspecies erotica, and that's what bothered you. I wouldn't blame you for that, actually.
That was a deal breaker right
there. That's a paddling. And then in third place, yeah, okay, I'm just making sure I'm reading this correct. And then in third place, there was a 2-way tie between Chasing Amy and Dogma as his worst movie.
Well, one of those I can agree with.
No, I don't agree with either of them. I just don't agree with
either
of them. One is way better than the other, but I mean, Chasing Amy, his worst movie, really? What were you thinking? I mean, hey, to each their own, man. You know, there's somebody that, you know, might think that, I mean, if your favorite movie of his is something like, you know, if you're like the kind of person that's like, hey, I like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, or even like Tusk or something like that, yeah, you might not be into Chasing Amy, you know, might not be your thing. So, so that's it. There was just 3, you know, because people seemed to be pretty much in agreement on those. Clerks did not make the hated list. Mallrats did not make the hated list. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back did not make the hated list, which, even though I like that movie, it sort of surprised me because I thought that would be more polarizing because it's really goofy, you know, and we'll get into that. Red State didn't make the hated list, which is awesome. And surprisingly, well, I guess somewhat surprisingly, Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
Not mentioned again.
It not only did it not make it into a favorite list, but it also didn't make it into the hated list. So
people are just indifferent to it.
I think that is largely the case. And again, I do want to talk a little bit more about Zach and Mary, so I'm not going to address it here, but
more to come.
More that prompts discussion. So there you have it, folks. That's interesting, and that's why I wanted to read that before we get into our top 5, because that prompts some discussion there with a few of those of maybe why those movies did or didn't get mentioned and everything. So thanks so much, man. We love it when you guys take part in the polls.
Absolutely, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. We love hearing what you guys think. I even saw some of you guys debating with each other about some of your choices and stuff. That's great. That's why we do this. We want that to happen. You know, it's all about geek talk. Geeking Poetic. That's what the name of the fucking show is. I've had people go, well, what the hell does that mean? You know, people don't get it. They actually don't. I'm like, you don't know the term waxing poetic? No. Geeking Poetic means we're waxing on poetic. We're talking about, you know, we're enraptured with geeky topics and we're talking about them. So more geeking poetic to each other about these topics. So thank you so much. Yeah, I think with that should we take a real quick breather? I wanna drink a little bit of water because now my throat. We fucking jinxed ourselves because now I'm like, oh, I'm starting to feel like crap, and I have gigs this weekend, so that's
no good.
No good.
And Friendsgiving, you can't be sick for Friendsgiving. You both need to knock that shit off right now.
I have in the next week between now, in the next like 7 or 8 days, I have 4 gigs to play. By gigs, I mean music gigs. I have 4 gigs to play. 3 of the 4, I have to do a lot of singing. So I'm going to take a break, take some meds, drink some water. We'll do our little mid-break here. And then we get into the meat, the nitty-gritty. Get down to the nitty-gritty. And we're going to talk about our top 5. And
Dum.
Yeah. So be right back, folks. Take it easy, bro.
Hey, Vito here. Thanks for checking out the newest episode of the Geeking Poetic Podcast.
If you like what you see, make sure you click one of the links below and give us a follow.
Make sure you leave a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe.
And make sure to check back soon for more content.
Now, back to the show.
Bye.
All right, everybody, we are back. There will be fewer interruptions from here on out, because now we are into the true meat and potatoes of a Geeking Poetic Podcast.
It's what we're all here for.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to know. They're dying. You guys are dying to fucking know, like, what do these fucking dickheads think of these fucking Kevin Smith movies?
They don't agree with me. What do they think?
Right.
We know.
Right. Yeah. So let's count down from 5. We're going to do, so everybody knows how we do it. We count down from 5 to 1. We go around with we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round and round we go. And then after we've listed them all, we discuss the movies, because there's going to be so much overlap and stuff. There's no point in talking about it each time we go through. So that's the way it does it, so that this doesn't end up being 5 hours long
Which it still will.
Like the last one. No, it really better not. No, we're going to try to keep this one a little bit shorter, at least comparatively. So, as usual, I like to start with Vito. Vito, what is your number 5?
Little movie called Mallrats.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Start off with a shocker right off the bat.
Huh. Okay.
All right.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's different than mine.
Yep, me too.
Well, on that note, then, Meg, what is your number 5?
After hemming and hawing and changing it around a gazillion times,
Literally the car.
on the way here, like I had just now had to write it out so I don't change it again. I'm going to go with Chasing Amy.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, right? She got bumped around so many times. Like,
Yeah, it really did. Because when you were first talking to me about it,
was
that
way
movie
up
was
there.
way higher. That's quite a switch.
yeah, it was tough.
Interesting. All right. Well, my number 5 is a movie that I went back and forth about whether this is even going to be in my top 5, and that's why it literally eked its way into the top 5. And it is 1999's Dogma.
You did go with Dogma, huh?
I did go with Dogma, man, and fuck. Well, we'll get into it.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. It's still tough. I mean, there's going to be honorable mentions like we mentioned earlier, and I mean, tomorrow some of those honorable mentions could flip-flop with some of these that made into the. But as of today, as of November 2018, Dogma's my number 5. What?
It's just like at 11:51 p.m.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Timestamp.
11:52.
Right.
Maybe a little different.
Right. By the time it turns midnight, I might change my mind
Yep.
and turn back into a pumpkin. All right. Okay. So we've got Mallrats, Chasing Amy, and Dogma in our number 5s. So number 4, Vito.
Chasing Amy for me.
Wow. Sorry, it just surprised me because there's a lot of
You raved about that one.
I know. I love it.
Wow. That's
After rewatching some of the other ones, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what
These
happened to
are-
me.
yeah.
Same here, man. Let me tell you, folks, rewatching these movies, I mean, even though I've seen so many of them, all of us, we've seen them multiple times, many times. Some of these movies are, 25 years old or whatever they are now. Man.
It's worth rewatching them. They may speak to you differently.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, Chasing Amy. What about you? What's your number 4?
I had to go with Clerks.
Clerks and number
Clerks.
4.
Wow.
There you go. So yeah, the movie that
We need
everybody.
we need a fucking Owen Wilson soundboard.
Wow.
Wow.
Make that face go. Wow. Yeah, that's funny, man. But yeah, the movie that people are friends and fans and whatever and supporters out there, pretty much almost universally voted is the number 1 most loved Kevin Smith movie. You put in 4th place.
4th place.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I feel like I had to be in there somewhere, and that's. It
That's
was up
tough.
higher too, but it got bumped down after I
Yeah.
rewatched.
Well, you know what's interesting about that?
What's that?
Clerks is also my number 4.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, so how about that? Everybody at home is like, blasphemy! That can't be right!
Unsubscribe right now.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Unfollow! No.
We just sent a big fuck you to
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. How can it's his best movie? You're 4 and 5, you're already talking about Chasing Amy and Clerks! Bah!
Hold on, guys. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Oh man, I voted for Kodos. So yeah, all right. So in our number 4, we had Chasing Amy and Clerks. This is getting interesting, folks. Because
Tension is building.
I don't really know what these guys picked. I mean, we've talked about it, but obviously since
Yeah,
I've
it's
talked
been
to you guys,
flip-flopping.
it's changed. So this is really interesting. All right, number 3.
Tres monsters.
as sick Nick Hernandez would talk about the movie.
Oh.
Tres monsters.
One of my best friends, Nick Hernandez.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, he was like,
Tres monsters.
he'd laugh at that. Anyway, number 3.
Zach and Miri make a porno.
Nice.
Okay, yep.
Nice.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
That's a
Okay.
good ass movie.
it is.
All right.
I'm with you there, but I'm not quite with you there. I have to go with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Okay. Yeah.
Right there in the middle, smack dab.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. It's your Huckleberry. Well, see, again, we said there's going to be crossover and everything. My number 3 is Zach and Miri make a porno.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. So, that's again, people going, what? I'm sure.
Yeah, you
because,
guys didn't even mention it.
you guys didn't even, never even got a mention by anybody in any of our poll results. Nobody mentioned it one way or the other. So that's already made it into, in the middle of our top 5. So fuck y'all. How about that shit? I like that shit. Zach and Miri make a porno. That shit's good. So yeah, so number 3, yeah, Zach and Miri make a porno, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah, you guys told them.
We sure did. We're fucking telling you all. All right, number 2.
So I had to do a little cheating on this one.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Oh.
this one includes both Clerks movies.
Man,
Oh, you had to put 'em together.
That's dirty pool, man. We'll let it go because
If
there are
I had to pick one, it'd have to be Clerks 2.
really
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
holy shnikes. Wow.
Yeah.
As Harry Carey would say, holy cow. that's wow.
That's a shocker right there.
That is a shocker. That's interesting.
Showstopper.
Okay.
Interesting.
Megan, you're number 2.
Well, I'm going to send another big fuck you, and I'm going to go with Zach and Miri make a porno.
Wow.
My number 2. I don't know why you guys don't mention it. It's fucking great.
Yeah, that's awesome that it made so high on your list. That's
So
killer.
it's on all 3 of our lists, and it make it our list
I
as
know.
well. Good or bad.
Yeah, my number 2 would be 1997's Chasing Amy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just such a damn good movie, you know.
It is a good movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 2. So then we've got Clerks, Vito
Leaning
1
on
and 2,
Clerk, yeah.
kind of the Clerks.
Of course,
Clerk
it's
saga.
2. He's freaking sequel, man.
Yeah.
Well, right.
We should have
That's
saw that one coming. God damn it.
What am I? Yeah.
What are we even thinking?
Thank
Why
you,
does it shock
Megan.
us?
Thank you, Megan, for bringing that up.
Right?
Why did I even question that? Of course he's going to go with the fucking sequel. Okay, so we've got Clerks or Clerks 2, we'll say.
Yeah.
Megan, you said Zach and Miri
Miri.
make a porno, and I said Chasing Amy. Okay. All right, so now we're back. We're up to the do the drum roll. We're at the number 1 hit of the week. So of all time. Our hit of tonight.
Kind of
'cause
like Morris Day in the time.
oh, more stay in the motherfucking time. Yeah.
Man, the time fucking sucked.
Dude. Yeah. I don't blame Jay for grabbing that fucking snotty little kid when he fucking said that, because Morris Day and the Time are the fucking mad note. That shit, I love Morris Day and the Time. Seriously, man. I'm all about some chili sauce. Chili sauce. Okay, sorry. Anyway, getting back to our number 1 pick. Okay, so Vito, your number 1 pick would be?
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
All the way up there, huh?
It is.
That made number 1. Yeah. Okay. And your number 1?
I'm going with Mallrats.
My number 1 is Mallrats,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. And
Yeah, just how it's yeah.
it's
just is.
do-do-ding, do-do-ding, do-do-ding. That's just the way it is. Do-do-ding. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. So the number 1 according to Geeking Poetic, we voted the number one Kevin Smith movies of all time are Mallrats and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. We like them goofy, folks. We like them goofy.
We don't like anything serious.
But it's interesting. So it means, like in my list, obviously, in at least my top 5, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back didn't make it in there. Clerks 2 didn't make it in there for me. But again, speaking for myself, man, those movies were in the top 5 at one point or another. It was so hard to narrow it down to 5.
Yeah.
If I could have,
I agree.
If I could have done top,
I need like 7.
I was just saying,
Yeah, we gotta maybe change the rules to our game here.
Yeah, if I could have done 7 or 8, it would have been so much easier, But as it is, it's got to be 5. Just 5.
That's why I had to
Sticking with
cheat and
it.
put both clerks in there because it was like,
I
well,
get it.
I can't skip the other guys.
I get it, but it had to be 5. A band of the hand. All right, yeah. Let's go through and let's just talk now real quick about these movies and why they're in there. Now, I would like to start with mine since we have it already up on the screen here. You see those 3 little fucks and all that bitch and everything. Yeah. So my choice at number 5 was Dogma. As I seem to understand it, you did not like this movie.
It's not that I didn't like it. It was just I found it to be pretty boring. I literally kept checking how much time was left in the movie. And this was the first time I've seen it. And this movie is almost 20 years old, right?
Yeah, it came out in 99.
Yeah,
So here's the thing real quick. There's a reason why this movie was in and out of my, like a fucking hump fuck, It was just in and out, in and out. It just kept going back and forth.
Wow.
But, it was just in, out, in,
double
out.
dipping.
Yeah. There was a reason why it was in and out and why it eked in there at number 5. I wanted, when this movie came out, I wanted to love this movie. In 99, I was pretty much at the apex, the peak of my Kevin Smith worshiping. Okay. I had all his comics. Like I said, I had watched the previous 3 movies a billion times, Chasing Amy, Mallrats, Clerks, a million times. I owned the comic book store. A friend of mine came in there. He was one of these guys that was always getting his hands on bootlegs of things. Again, this was
it the Blair Witch dude or is this?
Yes,
okay.
It was. Good callback, Vito. It was the same fucking dude. Yes. So he came in there and he did not have a bootleg of the movie. What he did have was he had printed it out on his home printer, at the time. Shitty ass old printer. He printed out the entire script that somebody had put online for Dogma. This was it was a while before the movie even came out. It's probably a good 6 months before the movie came out, maybe. I know it was a fair amount of time. So he brought this to me, and I was like, oh, man, I got to read it. Yeah, I mean, it was no different than when you get the book for a movie, a month or 2 before the novelization, before the movie comes out. So I looked at it the same way. I'm like, well, I'm going to read it like if it was the book. I read the script. Now, at this point, I didn't know who all was playing all the different roles. There was very little out. They knew he was making the movie. That was it. I mean, again, this was early internet days, so this shit wasn't all easy to access and leaked out there.
It wasn't on moviepoopshoot.com or whatever.
No, there wasn't a lot out there. I was just barely on the internet. I think I didn't even get on the internet till 1998. So I was pretty late to the game with a lot of that. Anyway, so I got this script and I read the script. I still remember reading it. It took me a few days, but I read through it while I was sitting at work appropriately behind the counter of my comic book store I owned. It's perfect way, right? In the 90s, no less. And I read this script, and I just remember telling my friend Jordan at the time, who used to hang out in there with me all the time. I remember she was my Randall. If I was Dante, Jordan was my Randall, And I remember sitting there telling her about and being like, this is fucking great. The script was great. The way it played in my head, the way I read the dialogue, the way I pictured it being done, I loved it. At that point, I was like, this is going to be my favorite Kevin Smith movie. Seriously, I was like, this is fucking so good. I loved the whole concept. I loved the idea. I loved how it toyed with these religious concepts, and it was like, it exposed a lot of the bullshit of it, but at the same time, it was reverent to it too. You know, he wasn't just trying to totally shit all over Catholicism, certainly wasn't trying to shit all over the idea of God and doing the right thing and stuff. I loved it. I thought it was great. And there were scenes in there. Well, I'll get into that in a second. So I read this script, and by this point, then I joined November's Doom. Our old bass player, Mary, was a big Kevin Smith fan too. We talked about it constantly, always quoting. We'd be at gigs or at practice, always quoting Kevin Smith movies back and forth at each other, as you know, Paul was into it too. Everybody in the band was. And when Dogma came out, Mary, I was like, I can't wait for you to go see this movie. I'm so excited. We got to go see it. There's so much great stuff in it. And then we went and saw it at the theater, somewhere in north side of Chicago. And I remember being like, oh, I can't even tell you. Wait till they get to the part when they're in the strip club. There's this amazing thing that happens with them singing, all this stuff. As I'm watching this movie, I'm like, oh, that's different. Like, oh, that's the way she's going to play it. The actress, I think, I forget her name, Linda Fiorentino or whatever her name is.
From Men in Black.
Really, now I can't.
Yeah, Lyndon for you.
Yeah,
It's on
she's
now.
the scion, the great.
Yeah,
great.
Bethany or whatever her name was. Yeah. So, I was like, oh, that's the way she's going to play that character, huh? I don't care for her. She's kind of a cunt. And she didn't play that way to me on the page. It didn't come off that way. And then there was like just different things that happened. And then there was scenes. There was some really great scenes. There was scenes where, with Jason Lee, when he's talking about what it's like in hell. He goes on this long, and it's wordy. I get it. I understand why they might have cut it down for the movie. But in the script, it was so powerful. It was such a powerful scene, and it gave his character so much more depth to me. You know what I mean? Whereas in the final movie, he just came off kind of goofy. I don't know. Like, you didn't take... I don't know. I didn't care about him that much in the movie. Jason Lee's character is the fucking demon.
Azazel or whatever.
Yeah, it's Azazel, right. So I was like, oh, wow, they cut that. And then there's like scenes, like, say, for example, the whole scene when they go to the strip club and they encounter Selma Hayek and the gang members and stuff there. There was a whole scene where she inspires Jay and Bob the way they get out of this situation with these guys that want to basically kill them. They get up and start singing the Fat Albert theme, like karaoke style and everything, and they're all in there, like, and all the gang members are all in there going, nah, 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 gonna have a good time. Like, reading it on the page, it sounded fucking hilarious. We get to that part of the movie, and I'm like telling Mary, well, this is gonna be so funny, and then it doesn't happen. It just skips ahead, and next thing you know, Jay and Bob are like hanging out with the gang members, and suddenly they went from being all intense at each other, having that money war, whipping out the money at each other, to now they're all buddies. So something happened. I was like, oh, what? How could you do that to me? Not to mention, also, I'm going to grab this. There was this that came out, which was Chasing Dogma. It's a comic book. I should mention, too, that this shit is signed, yo.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Numbered and signed. 676. Couldn't have been 666, right? How rad would it have been if it was 676? Well, this comic book tells the whole story of Jay and Silent Bob and how they get from the end of Chasing Amy, because the last you see them is when they sit in the diner with Holden McNeil telling him the Chasing Amy story and all that. That's the last you see of them. And Bob talking about how he always wanted to be a dancer with his jazz hands and everything. And then they leave. And then the next thing is they show up in Illinois, in Chicago, out in the outskirts of Chicago or whatever, and they're talking about how they wanted to find Shermer, Illinois, because of the John Hughes movies. This book tells that story of all the in-between, and it's fucking hilarious. So I had this, I had the script, I had all this that should have made Dogma fucking magnificent. And instead, it's just okay. I still think there's stuff in that movie that's great. I think there's some gags that are great. I love the no ticket thing.
Yeah, that was yeah.
You know, Jay and Bob are great in it. Chris Rock's pretty funny in it. So I mean, it's a great cast. It even Alan Rickman's fucking
Rickman.
Yeah, he's magnificent, man. I mean, everybody's great in it. But it just, what?
I heard Jay was scared of him. He's like, I don't want to fuck this up and piss Rickman off.
Oh, I could see that. I'd be intimidated by Alan Rickman, too, because he just acted, you know.
I think Kevin Smith told Jay, he's like, listen, man, this is like, you got to like bring it like this time because we got like serious.
We got real actors now.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, because up to that point, it had all kind of still just been the actors that he was used to in the Askew universe, you know. Yeah, Lady Aberlin from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood played the nun in that scene. Did you ever watch Mr. Rogers?
Yeah.
Do you remember Lady Aberlin, the girl with the brown hair that was always in the neighborhood of Make Believe? She was always talking.
That's her?
Yeah, the brown-haired girl, the young girl
shit.
that always wore the skirts and talked to Daniel Tiger. Yeah. She's the nun, man.
Oh, I didn't
He
know
got
that.
fucking Lady Aberlin to be in it. Exactly. See, it's that kind of shit. It's that kind of shit that for me just bumps it up a little bit more. And I want to explain, although we'll talk a little bit more about it, but this almost literally up until today was not in my top 5. My number 5 was going to be Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And I love that movie. I still love that movie. If I would have done a veto, I would have made those two tied for 5 easily. But there's just, as much as I love Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and as much as Dogma is flawed, there's always going to be a love I have for this movie because of, as much as it sucked that it wasn't what it should have been, I also feel like I benefited because I know how good this movie was. Not flawed by any lack of Kevin Smith's writing. His writing for this movie was fucking superior. It was great. It suffered in, I think, post-production. It also suffered because the one person on the cast that I'm going to just say, like I already said publicly, that I didn't. Everybody in the cast is great, perfect in their roles. Carlin is the Cardinal, is fucking hilarious, you know. I love all of it, but he picked the wrong leading lady. And I believe he, you know, I know how Kevin is. He kind of go, well, I don't know. He's had some not so nice things to say about her,
really,
over the years, about dealing with her, working with her. I think he made a mistake. I don't think she was the right choice. He might go, oh no, I stand by my choice. Well, I don't. I think he would have been better off finding somebody else to play that role.
A lot of people had that objection with her in Men in Black too, I believe. Just the way she plays her characters is just a little.
I've seen her in other things where I felt like, okay, yeah, she embodies that character better. But in this, I don't know. I didn't feel like I needed to root for her. I needed to feel empathy. I needed to root for her and be like, no, you know, she's got to, you know. I really disliked her.
See, I had a hard problem. I thought her and Janine Garofalo were like the same character in a couple scenes. I was like, wait, isn't that the same?
I almost would have preferred Janine Garofalo because I think at least, even though Janine Garofalo's got that, you know, kind of bitchy deadpan thing, Janine Garofalo is also funny. Like, she has the capacity to be really funny. And I think if she would have been in that role, I would have preferred it. Linda Fiorentino, she's not funny. She just wasn't funny. There was scenes that I read it in the script, the way back and forth should have been between her and the Metatron, Rickman, and her and Rufus, Chris Rock. There's things that should have been more funny the way it, and she just didn't have it. sorry, no offense, lady, but you weren't right for that role. And I don't know. Like I said, from what I remember hearing, it's been a while, but I seem to recall hearing not too long after the movie was made, that Kevin kind of said, like, yeah, she was a problem. So anyway, so that was my choice. Moving on, we're not going to do this obviously in a perfect order because there's so much crossover. We're going to talk about 1997's Chasing Amy. So, when he did this movie, Kevin was actually, I believe he was involved with the actress Joey Lauren Adams.
I believe so, yeah.
That was his fiancée at the time. Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know they were fiance. I know like all his movies had his girlfriend in them, basically.
Well, no, not really.
Pretty close.
Kind of. Not really. No, because he didn't have a girlfriend in Clerks.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Who did you think was his girlfriend in Clerks?
I can't remember.
No,
but I thought one of his girlfriends was in there.
No, because I think he and his girlfriend broke up like during the making of Clerks or something like that. I think maybe she was originally supposed to be in it. That's possible.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah. No, because the actress, well, we'll get into Clerks later, but you know, the two actresses that were in there, no, he didn't know them.
Okay.
You know. But in any case,
anyway.
Yeah, well, that certainly became a thing for him later. Had making sure his woman was always in there, and she always is. But anyway, yeah, so this was kind of a good vehicle for Joey Lauren Adams. I thought she was great in it.
She was fan-fucking-tastic in this movie, dude. That scene outside the hockey rink when she just loses it, dude, that's an award-winning performance, I think, man. That was fucking incredible.
Laid into him.
Yeah, that was great.
He deserved every bit of that.
Yeah, he did.
He was a fucking douchebag idiot.
My favorite was Jason Lee, the best friend. He made that movie to me.
Yeah.
Banky, yes.
I told you, man, my favorite, I don't know if we have it in here, my favorite scene of that fucking movie is when he draws that fucking four-way map.
Oh, yes.
Dude, when he draws, is it in? I think it's in here if you want to look for it.
You have it in here?
Yeah.
Didn't you buy the poster?
Yeah. He ends up drawing this when he's trying to make a point to Holden. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Our best Lawrence Fishburne. There it is. And he draws that map to demonstrate his feelings about her, and everything. Talking about how the other three are figments of your fucking imagination. Dude, when I first saw that at the theater, I literally, I mean, other people laughed too, but I was crying. I was laughing so fucking hard. I was like, because I knew where it was going. When he was I was like, oh my God. Yeah, this was the first Kevin Smith movie I saw at the theater. I went and saw this 3 times.
Wow.
At the theater. Yeah. Oh, this isn't my record. Oh no.
For a Smith film?
Oh yeah. No, we'll get into that. We'll get into that when we discuss the movie. But yeah, I saw this at the theater 3 times, man. So fucking good. This was the game changer for him. I mean, he made these other 2 kind of culty movies that, well, Mallrats didn't do that good when it came out. People dig it now, but it was very culty. But this movie was the one that adapted all over,
This is like his first major motion picture,
this
right?
was the one that made people that didn't know anything about Mallrats or...
It was a smash hit, you'd say, Vito?
This one? It's in a different category than a smash hit, I would say. I know where you're going, though.
This movie's just great. And I got to recommend to you guys, if you haven't, and to you out there, if you have the DVD, if you haven't watched the extras, watch the fucking extras. There are a bunch of outtakes, like kind of like we talk about with, how we have our outtakes and stuff where we fuck things up or we do goof around or we can't stop laughing. The outtakes for this movie are my favorite there's a whole outtake scene with Affleck and Lee when they're in the comic panel when Hooper's doing his whole rant about Lando Calrissian and all that shit, and there is an outtake scene of them trying to get through that scene without laughing and failing, not only failing but like crashing hard. And it makes you laugh. You're watching it. Every time I've watched that, I don't know, dozens of times. Every time I watch it, it still makes me fucking laugh so hard. It's almost funnier than anything in the movie. But I think that Chasing Amy, even though it didn't make my number one, I feel like it made it. This was like the pinnacle where he got everything right. Dogma, like I said, could have been that for me, but the final product didn't live up to the script and what it could have been and the build up. This movie was it, man. This was just the characters. I mean, all the characters are so well done. He cast this movie so perfectly. Yeah, Joey Lauren Adams was great. Affleck was perfect for it because you kind of want to like Affleck, but he's sort of a douche.
Yeah.
You know, and he's
right there.
Especially
Look at
with that
that picture.
goatee.
that picture. Oh yeah, the goatee.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I mean, it's perfect. Like it was, and it really showed. And I mean, the ignorance and stupidity of men. You know, which is essentially what a lot of that movie's about. You know, it's about just
And double standards.
double
and stuff,
standards.
you know,
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and being honest with yourself about things. All the characters being honest with themselves about not really being honest with themselves about things. Yeah, the scene in the lesbian bar, that whole scene when they're sitting there trading stories, sex horror stories and stuff like that, and talking about how fucking Archie was actually like all like gay innuendo and stuff.
Yeah.
You know. Archie is not fucking Mr. Witherbean. Deny. Love it. It's just a great movie, man. I mean, there's no way that it couldn't make it into my top 3. It had to. It was just so good. I'm surprised it didn't make it higher for you. But
Yeah, man. But I rewatched some of the other ones, and yeah, it got bumped down.
I get it. Yeah. I will get into it. That happened to me. There's one movie that I thought was going to make it in my top 3 and didn't. And it was because of the rewatch that changed it for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I love the scene where he like offers, he's like, I know the perfect solution. I know it's going to fix everything. We all got to sleep together. And Banky's like, okay. Like, oh.
And you're just like, God, you are such a fucking idiot, man. You have no idea.
I was like, oh my God, that's your fucking solution?
Exactly.
What a dumbass.
But you know what? That is, yeah, there's so many, it's so everyman true. I mean, it's like you guys are just, you know, she tried so hard to just get through to this guy, just to make him understand her, make him understand himself, understand how things work, how they didn't work, his double standards, and just, and in the end, that's what he came up with, you know, fucking clown shoes.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, there's so many great scenes in that movie. Jason Lee fucking rules hard in that movie. He's just so great in that movie. Oh, I could go on forever talking about that. But anyway, yeah, this could just be a love fest, a 3-way love fest, like fucking Holden McNeil wanted it to be. It could be a 3-way love fest about this movie. It's a great movie, you know. Even just the whole Tracer thing.
And for SpongeBob
SpongeBob!
Where did I even get that from?
Silent Bob?
Silent Bob and Jay and Silent Bob. Oh my God. I've never even seen a SpongeBob show. I guess it's not true. But for them to come through, and they banked all this money off this comic book, and now they're rich now. Like that's
Right.
funny.
Yeah, the
Who
whole
would have
thing.
thought?
It was brilliant. It was a brilliant movie. So anyway, yeah, there you have it, man. Chasing Amy, absolutely deserving of being in all of our top 5s. So
Fuck yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Let's keep it rolling. And let's
Keep rolling.
keep rolling. Wow. Oh, wow. It's like
You ever
we're
see
back-
Mad TV where they did keep posing with
Yeah.
Will Sasso? Fucking brilliant. Will Sasso, I fucking love you, dude.
It's just going to always make me think of any Limp Bizkit thing's going to just make me think of being a grass pop.
Yeah.
You should have seen us fools, me, Vito, and Gary in the middle of the crowd at Grass Pop with like 50 to 60,000 Europeans.
They were going ape shit for
going
Limp Bizkit,
ape shit
man.
for Limp Bizkit.
Oh, wow.
We were like, what are we doing here? We should say we weren't there to see Limp Bizkit. We played at the same
Yeah.
festival, and it was amazing. But anyway, so yeah, to keep rolling. So 2008's Zach and Mary Make a Porno. I think this was on all three of our lists, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. This is such an underrated movie. It's really a shame. Why do you guys feel? Why do you think that happened?
It had to come out at the same time around like 40-Year-Old Virgin because half the cast from that movie is in this movie. So maybe it got kind of overshadowed by that movie.
40-Year-Old Virgin was earlier than
Was
that.
it?
Yeah,
I love that movie too, dude.
I did.
Yeah, that one
yeah.
seemed like it did well.
Yeah.
Oh, it
So you
did.
think
Oh,
this
yeah.
one would do well?
Yeah.
I think this movie was marred by poor promotion. I think a lot of people just don't even know about this movie, or they're like, "Oh, I heard of it," but you know what I mean. Like, there's people I know I've talked to that are like, "Oh, I didn't even realize that was a Kevin Smith movie."
Mm-hmm.
I also think it was another one of those where by that point there was a little bit of Seth Rogen burnout going on. People were just like, "Ugh, another Seth Rogen movie, like where he's, the lovable dork kind of thing." Like
He's a lovable dork,
he
man.
is.
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
I
in it.
loved him in this.
Yeah. He's,
Folks, if you haven't seen this movie, Zach and Mary Make a Porno, it's fucking great. I mean, it's in all of our top 5. It really is one of Kevin Smith's best movies. I know people be like, "You guys are fucking crazy," just like they said about us loving The Predator. You guys are crazy. No, we're
dude,
not.
you're crazy, all right?
Who doesn't love granny panties?
Right.
Dude. There's so many classic. To me, this is another movie that, again, while it takes place in, this takes place actually. It's more in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Philadelphia or whatever.
Something like that.
That or Pittsburgh is.
Yeah. Maybe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. While it takes place outside of the standard Universe kind of thing, it feels like an Universe movie, and this to me is when it's like, Kevin, this is when you're doing it right. This is when you're getting away from Jay and Silent Bob, but you're doing it right. This movie is brilliantly cast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because Jason Mewes, again, not playing a completely different character than
Short hair.
Yeah.
Jay, yeah. Well, and just being this kind of like weirdo dork kind of guy, like he's amazing in it, dude. That fucking scene when he walks out at the end, when he walks out of the
Oh,
bedroom, and he's
God.
just like, "Oh, hey, Zach," and he's
Completely naked.
full frontal, back, everything. Oh, hey, it's like, oh my God, Jason,
The fucking Dutch rudder, dude.
He's like, "We're not touching dicks. I'm not doing, It's like, we're not doing it, dude. There's so many good gags in this fucking movie, especially if you're into more like dirty kind of humor a little bit, but it's not. It's that. See, okay, here's what I do know a little bit about this movie. There was a lot of opposition to this movie because of the title.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I bet the title turned about a bunch of people off.
The title
Guarantee it.
killed this movie. I think the title killed this fucking movie, and people automatically assumed the worst of it.
Mhm.
Whether people on one end assumed, "Oh my God, this could be a filthy movie," and it's got its
Oh, yeah.
moments. It's got its moments, man.
The old pull-out scene.
Oh, dude, with the diarrhea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that was even though it's fake, just when you see Jeff Anderson when that shit hits
That's
him,
kind of a throwback to Mallrats or Clerks or something, isn't it? Where they talk about that.
a little, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, it's all Kevin Smith type of scenarios. Yeah, there's so many good gags in this movie. Again, it's cast amazing. Craig Robinson as Delaney has so many, just him alone. His dialogue in this fucking movie is so fucking great. I don't even want to, I won't even start quoting it, but it's just some of the shit he says.
I love when he's auditioning the titties and he's like kind of nervous. He's like, I got a wife, so I don't want to touch him, but I just want to see him.
It's like you don't have to show him if you don't want to, but it's cool if you do. Yeah, it's like I don't, you got nice titties. Everybody, they just they cast it brilliantly. They got 2 actual porn stars in it. They got Katie Morgan, and of course the legendary, whether she likes it or not, Tracy Lords, which we won't get in. When we first started doing this podcast, when we did our test run of this podcast, part of maybe we'll put that on the year, some of it on the year end,
some of it
on the year end special and the New Year's special. But yeah, when we did our first test run of this, because we didn't want to just jump right into it, we had to kind of do a little test run that you guys never saw or heard. And we didn't have anything specific to talk about, so somehow it started getting into like old 80s porn and talking about like Tracy Lords when she was less than legal. Hey, we didn't know. I didn't know. Well, for that matter, I was less than legal. I was younger than Tracy Lords and all that shit. But, yeah, it was a weird time, interesting time. But she's still around. She's still doing great. She's still making appearances and acting and singing and doing all sorts of shit. But she's great in this. Not a big role, but she does it well.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. I think he did a good job in this one of making it kind of believable that Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks, Zach and Mary would possibly, there's so many times in these movies where they try to do the beautiful girl and the geeky out of shape guy, and that they fall in love and all this stuff, and everybody goes, root for the underdog, and it's great. But a lot of times you watch it and you just go, that chick would never go for that dude. But in this, they made it the way that was done. It was like, oh yeah, okay, and they address that. Like they address that you would initially think like there's no way. And I love the fact that they made her just as much of a putz as he was.
Yeah.
Even though, she's a good looking woman.
The looks.
Yeah.
She's a good looking woman, but she's, clueless. And so it's a great movie. I think it's an awesome
Another
movie.
movie of a band of misfits band together.
Yeah.
He's big on that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what his whole career is about. It was that. It was a bunch of misfits banding together. I mean, that movie is almost like could be Tim telling the story in a way of what he did, just under a different premise, and that they weren't making a movie about filthy mouth clerks. They were making a movie about people having sex in a coffee shop. That whole sex scene. When they're trying to be sexy and it's so bad,
Yeah,
and it's like, oh my god. Yeah,
Part of what makes it so great.
Yeah.
that movie. I mean, for me, that again, it's a movie that you guys just completely ignored. You didn't put it on your least or most favorites. But that movie, for me, when I watched it recently, I'm like, this movie, pound for pound, inch for inch or whatever, had the most fucking what?
Pound for pound, inch for inch.
Well,
I know.
euphemism, but just saying it had the most laughs in it. There was just tons of laughs in it. Even at times when it got to when it gets into starting the third act, when it starts getting into this down thing and they split up and aren't talking, and there's still laughs in it. Like there's still stuff that made me laugh. Fucking I forget that Tisha Campbell Martin playing Delaney's
she's
wife.
awesome, dude. I loved her in Martin in the 90s.
Dude, and but just that whole scene when them going back and forth when he's talking about, he's like, you with your busted old titties, and he fucking flaps her titties. Just picks up her tit, flaps that's fucking precious, man. That is priceless. That is great That's just people that, will go the extra mile for the humor and the whole thing. It was, like I said, I really have nothing bad to say about that movie. There's aspects of it that it's predictable. Like, you know how this is gonna end, whereas like Chasing Amy at least wasn't predictable. Like, you thought, at the end they'll make, and they didn't. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay. So there was like lessons to be learned here from this and stuff. This one had the happy, predictable ending and all that. So, but even that, them throwing that curve at you when Lester walks out of the bedroom and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You thought like, oh, here's the happy ending where they run in each other's arms, and then Muse walks out with his dong flopping around and everything.
And they trick you because you think, well, no, she didn't. But then she's in the bathroom. He goes, shit.
Right.
And he finds out that it's her,
right. Yeah, So that was well done. So I kind of forgive the typical, happy Hollywood ending.
Yeah.
But other than that, and the fact that you fucked up naming that movie, Kev, I got what you were going for, but you fucked yourself and you fucked this movie with that. I have nothing bad to say about this movie.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this movie.
Well,
which is why it's my number 2.
Your number 2, yeah. And it was...
You guys is number 3.
Yeah, it was my number 3, and it was your...
3?
3, yeah. So it
high up there.
Made it high up there, and for good reason, folks. Zach and Mary Make a Porno. If you haven't seen it, give it a chance. And if you did see it and you were like, oh, I didn't think it, give it another chance, man. Seriously.
Give it all the chances. Just keep giving it a chance.
Just keep
watching.
Yeah. If you gave it 6 inches before, try to push for that extra inch, man. just push it in a little bit farther.
They'll thank you for it.
They will. Extra inch can go a mile.
Oh.
Megan's just enjoying this way too much.
Oh, I love you guys.
But anyway, there you go. Yeah. Number 2 and 3, Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Want to move on?
Let's move it on.
All right. So moving on. Again, we're doing this a little out of order and stuff because this was Vito's numero uno, but bit to talk about here. So we're going to 2001's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Strike Back, yeah. So one of the, if not the, one of the first Kevin Smith movies I ever saw, and I fucking loved it at the time. And I just rewatched it last night or the night before by myself, and I was literally laughing out loud on my couch by myself at scenes. This movie just has my type of humor, which is fart, dick, and titty jokes. Like, I love that that he draws from, and this movie's fucking got it, man. So fucking funny.
Dick and poopy jokes, yep. Yeah, I mean, you like this one, don't you?
I do like this one a lot.
Yeah. Was this in your list?
It wasn't my list. It was my number
4?
3.
3? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. This did not make my list. It should have made my list. Again, tomorrow I'm going to think about this and I'm going to go, you know what? I should have put this on my list and moved Dogma. I'm telling you, I've been going back and forth for weeks on this. The reason that this didn't make my list, it's not the greatest reason, but so here's the thing. I saw this movie at the theater. I thought about it. I originally thought it was 1, and then I was like, oh, no, I forgot. I saw this movie at the theater 6 times.
6?
Whoa.
Wow.
6 fucking times. In a row? In a row. Yeah. And I tried not to suck any dick on the way through the parking lot. Like, I saw this movie. I fucking loved this movie when I saw it. I needed this movie so bad at that time in my life because I was not happy. It was a rough period in my life in 2001. And I needed something to make me happy that was just irreverent and ridiculous. This was that movie. I loved that. The problem is there's things about this movie that don't hold up as well now, unfortunately. A lot of the gags and stuff and people that are in it and things they reference are so of its time. You know, even like Biggs and Vanderbeek, you know, being it. Like at the time they were huge
big.
stars. That was a big
True.
thing. And so now when I watched it recently and when they come into it, it doesn't, I mean, yeah, okay, I've seen it a bazillion times anyway, but it doesn't have the same impact. And yeah,
I feel that way about the whole third act. Once they get to the Miramax studio, that to me is where we're like, oh, I can kind of take it or leave this part of the movie, you know?
agreed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's still funny things
Oh, for sure, yeah.
in it. You know, at Chris Rock. And
Yeah.
You put boogers in it? You spin this shit? It's like, drink it. Drink that shit. Taste the what do you go? Taste the booger flavor. What he's telling it.
Fucking love Chris Rock, man.
There's no boogers in it, sir. Yeah, there are again, another one. Most people probably don't even think it's that funny, but one of my favorite scenes in Strike Back is when they're on the street and they run into Tracy Morgan. Is what was his name? Escobar.
Yeah, because he's got the card, the
Pumpkin Escobar. Yeah, that's it. He runs into Pumpkin Escobar. You know what? I don't know what the fuck you just said, little man. He's like, give me the map, Steve. Give me the map, Steve. I think that's so fucking. He just it's this little inconsequential role, and Tracy Morgan just makes it wonderful. Which is why I'm like, I totally get why later he's like, we got to make Cop Out with Tracy Morgan in it. Like,
yeah.
you know, like Tracy Morgan is just he's so good.
George Carlin's great in this movie too.
Carlin's
the
great.
Code of the road.
There's yeah. You're doing it all wrong. Yeah, dude, I cannot bag on this movie for the casting. The casting is great, but there's just aspects of the movie that I find when I watch it now that I'm like, okay, you know, the third act, like you said, the whole thing with the gang of girls, like Shannon Elizabeth's great. I love Shannon Elizabeth. She's funny. You know, she's adorable and she's funny. And I think I liked her character, Justice. I got it. I don't know. There was too many elements of it now that watching it again, I went, okay, I'm not as enamored with this as I once was. You know, like I said, obviously I saw it 6 times at the theater. I do still love it though. It didn't make my list. It's a honorable mention, but man, I do love this movie. There's still some fucking great gags in it. And again, this is another one for you guys. If you have the DVD, yeah, you got it here and everything. I'm pretty sure this version has it. Let me see. Oh yeah. You need to watch this if you didn't. Did you watch the deleted scenes?
No, I just watched the first disc.
Oh, dude. There's some great outtakes. There's some amazing flubs and outtakes and stuff. There's like when they show all the Jay and Bob keep trying to do the whole scene at Holden's when he's like realizing that people are talking shit about him on the internet, and Jay doing like, oh yeah, I know those guys. And he's like, and these two Jay's like, ooh, I'm gonna suck those guys' dicks off. And he's like, and him trying to do that and not laugh, like he keeps getting through like they keep making each other, him and Bob keep making each other laugh. It's watch the extra stuff. The extra stuff on this, again, it's one of the things about Kevin Smith's stuff is some of the extra stuff on these is as much or more gold than the movie itself. So cannot fault the extras on this. There's a ton of great shit. So you need to watch it, man. You get bored. There's some really fun shit on there. Cool behind the scenes stuff too. And you know, fucking Princess Leia, you know, is in it, you know, playing the nun, which is incredible. There's great stories about that I guess Jay, I don't know if you hear about that, no. Jay kept propositioning her.
Oh yeah?
Like talking shit to her. Was like, so what's up, Princess Leia? You know, like blah, blah, blah. And kept doing it. And then she called him out on it. And she was like, listen, she's like, I may be, you know, she's like, I'm older, but I'm fucking horny. And I, you know, I don't take no bullshit. So if you want to fuck, then tell me you want to fuck. But if you're just fucking around with me because you got some fantasy because I'm Princess Leia, then shut the fuck up. And he was like, whoa. And after that, he was just like, oh shit. Okay.
Oh, he didn't fuck her?
No. He probably wishes he had.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I think a lot of dudes would have. You know. But yeah, I miss her, man. She was great. You know, Carrie Fisher was awesome. Miss you, Carrie Fisher. But anyway, lots of Star Wars reverence. Of course, Mark Hamill appearing in it. It's tons of great cameos. It's a great movie. I can't take anything away from it. But
I'm excited for the reboot.
Yeah,
I read about that. Yeah.
Yep. I think it's a fun concept where he's purposely making fun of reboot movies.
Oh, is it? See, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it's just like this, where
Okay.
they're trekking across the country to get to Hollywood to stop a movie, a reboot movie about Bluntman.
Are you kidding? Really?
Yeah, and the whole thing is just making fun of reboot movies
Nice.
the whole way. And he's like, I know so many more people now, celebrities and stuff. There's going to be a ton of cameos. I got comedians coming in all the time, giving me extra jokes to put in there. So
No shit.
it's going to be full of laughs. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
And Jason just made an announcement that it's still in the process. They're still supposed to be, hopefully in the spring, start filming it.
Wow.
So hopefully soon
That's cool.
Yeah, it should be good.
we'll have
Okay.
a reboot.
I look forward to that. Yeah, see, and that's great because that's what I said. One of the things about this is it shows its age. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
There's things about it that it's like, it shows its age, and I think Kevin can do better at it. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That-
Jason Mewes is really pushing for that. He's all about the
And-
reboot.
And that might make me like this more. You know what I mean? Now it might make me be a little bit more forgiving to this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Since this might help redeem some of
Yeah.
the things
Possibly,
about it, especially if it makes fun of this,
Possibly, yeah.
which it sounds like it might. So, plus it's got Morris Day and the motherfucking time in it. You know, Morris and Jerome, just the fucking best. You know, huge Prince and Paisley Park artists. You know, Purple Rain, Under the Cherry Moon. You've probably never even seen them, right?
Nope.
Dude, fuck.
The only time I heard of them was from this movie.
Fuck!
Yeah.
What?
Though my work did some flash drives for Paisley Park.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're all purple with like.
Oh,
yeah.
I wish I had one of those.
Yeah.
Fuck. Dude, that's awesome. Well, anyway, so anything else you guys want to say about this movie? I mean, it's your number one, man.
Just that I find it fucking hilarious,
Yeah,
and
it's just amazing.
yeah,
That's all you need to say.
yeah, and I can literally watch it by myself and like almost have tears running down my face because it's so funny to me.
You know what? Like, I would like to sit down in the near future. Fuck, you know what, dude? You know what we're going to do?
What are we going to do?
We're going to watch this on fucking Friendsgiving.
Okay.
Okay.
I
I'm
wanna-
down with that.
I want to watch this on Friendsgiving, because I think watching it with everybody and stuff, you know, like I said, I really struggled with this not being in my top 5, and like Dogma edged it out, but I just talking about it now and remembering stuff, I'm going,
Shit.
fuck yeah, that movie I fucking love. Yeah, we need to watch this next Sunday, man. I think that'll be good. Eat some food and watch this shit. Okay. We'll see, folks. I might be doing a,
You gonna recant what
recanting, of my thing, but it definitely belongs in there. So awesome, cool.
All right.
Cool beans.
Moving on to the tippy tops.
Mhm.
All right. So, yeah, we're moving on to the last couple
Mm-hmm.
from our list. Again, a little bit out of order here, but kind of makes sense to us the way we're doing this. So if it doesn't make sense to you, fuck y'all.
We do
How
what we want.
How about them apples? But the movie we're going to talk about right now is 1995's Mallrats. That was the one that Meg and I made our number 1, and I think it was your number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was down there for me.
polar opposites there.
But
You-
still on the list.
It is still on the list. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You dig this movie?
Oh yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other ones I just dig more. That's all.
I get it. I can kind of understand that. See, I think for me, and kind of echoing the same thing you were saying, is saw it first.
Yeah. It's always the first that sticks with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it first, and because of that, God, I loved this movie when I saw it. I mean, I fell in love with this movie when I saw it. It's one of those ones that I can quote. I can't say that about all the other Kevin Smith movies. I mean, we all know tons of quotes from it, but this movie, I can pretty much enact this entire movie. I watched this so much, I was a little ridiculous with it. But this movie, I don't know if you guys realize what like I said, what I thought was so cool about this movie was that this was the first time we all realized that Kevin was going to be doing an ongoing universe thing, that that his movies weren't just going to be isolated things, like, oh, this takes place in the same universe that Clerks did and everything, and chronologically, this movie, all the events, because it all takes place in one day, much like Clerks did.
Mm-hmm.
It takes place a day before Clerks.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you were watching the movies chronologically, you would watch this first and then Clerks, which maybe that's why it worked for me, because I saw this
That's
and
true.
then
That's the order we saw it in.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
just so many things about this movie to love. I mean, this is the movie that pretty much, I don't know that it was his first movie, but this was the movie that pretty much, at least to most of us out there, introduced Jason Lee to us. Because prior to that, he was mostly known as a skater. He was a well-known skateboarder guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I read that somewhere.
Yeah. Boy, talk about a guy that was made to be in movies. He's just hilarious. Again, an incredible cast. It's one of the first things that you got to see, because she was really popular at the time. First time you get to see Shannon Doherty really flex her wings in a comedic way. It was like, holy shit, he got fucking Brenda.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they made that gag in the movie when fucking Willem looks at her and says, Brenda?
Dick.
Do you know the story behind that?
No.
Okay, so they basically, that wasn't like in the script, I guess.
Oh.
But he told like Willem to like say that, like say Brenda, like. But I think he did tell her that he was going to say that, or she knew something like that. But the actor that played what's his name, Ethan Suplee, was an awesome actor. He was really worried about it because he was like, she's gonna hate me, because Shannon Doherty's an intense chick, man. And yeah, he thought she was really mad when she fucking hit him and was like, dick. He was just like, fuck. I messed up. But no, she was a good sport about it. From what I've heard, she wasn't that bad to deal with. And yeah, that
On this particular movie. Anyway.
yeah, exactly. I know there's been back and forth. Well, okay, so real quick, jumping ahead. So you were talking earlier. There's been talk about, for a while now, they've been talking about possibly doing a sequel to this movie.
Yes. As of right now, that's not happening, but
Okay.
it could happen. It's not completely off the table. But he wanted to make a second Mallrats because this one has such a cult following now. And his agent or somebody was saying, well, you have like 3 options. You can either, Universal owns it. So either you can go to them and they'll fund it and make it, or you can work with them and make it Universal askew duo. You
Like a
both pay
joint,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah. Or they'll sell you the rights to it and then we'll make it. We'll take it and fucking make it ourselves. Well, it turns out that Universal has never turned over rights to anything they've ever owned. So that's not going to happen. There's just not
I
going to be
think it's what happened with Child's Play 1 and the rest of the Child's Play series.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Once they own it, it's
Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked. You ain't getting that back. And then apparently they wouldn't do it either. So the only way he could do it is if Universal would pay for it. So he went and talked to all these people. He could get interest and get meetings and everything. But everybody kept saying, no. So Mallrats is on the back burner for now. But he was saying, like, with reboots, Jane Silent Bob reboots, maybe that could generate more interest. Say, hey, what about Mallrats 2 now? So we shall see.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, well, I struck out. You guys wanted me to do something original, and I did fucking Tusk, and I did Hosers, and you guys creamed me for that, handed my ass to me for that, so I'm going to fucking do what I want. I'm going to make Jane Silent Bob reboot. And after that, if they'll let me, I'm going to make one Mallrats.
Yeah,
And
well,
you guys can suck it, because that's what I want to do. Like, go Bob.
Yeah.
Silent Bob.
well, that's all fine for him to say it that way, but
Yeah.
to be like, I tried to do, you want me to do something original and get away from this, so I made, Tusk and Yoga Hosers. It's like,
That's what you made?
that's like, that'd be like me being like, hey, you told me you wanted me to do more stuff around the house and make and everything. So I greased myself up with petroleum jelly all over my body, and I decided to slide up and down the hallway while using a fucking Swiffer, and
I waxed the floor that way.
I waxed the floor and cleaned the ceiling at the same time, and I decided to take an axe and chop up the entertainment center to make firewood, to keep us warm. Yeah, sorry, Kev, that's not exactly the best defense. Yeah, this movie when it came out, it didn't do well. I mean, I didn't even know about it until it went on to video. He was really defensive for years about it. I think now he sat there and said, looking back, I could see some of the criticisms of it. I guess I can too, but I think it's a great movie. I think it was severely underrated. I mean, clearly, because now
It's beloved.
Yeah.
it's beloved. But it was really underrated. I thought it was cool that he tried to make a different kind of teen movie. Because teen movies up to that point had been like shit like, Porky's and stuff like that, which, I mean, those movies are okay. But even in this, the producer and James Jacks, that guy, and Universal, they were trying to push Kevin to make that kind of movie. The whole scene where Joey Lauren Adams is changing in the room, and he busts through and she's got her shirt open and shows her tits and all that kind of stuff. Like, Kevin really did not want that in the movie. He was like, I don't want to make this girl have to take her top off. We're not making that kind of movie. He felt so bad about making her do that. And she was like a good sport about it and everything. But that was pressure from the movie studio, the Universal and Jim Jacks, to say, it's a teen movie. There's got to be tits in it, and there's got to be all this blah, 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 blah. The other thing is, they didn't want Jason Mewes.
I was just going to say that. They didn't want him at all.
No, they didn't want Jason Mewes to play Jay. They had
came to the studio the first day of recording, ready to fire him.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, but Kev knew that, so he kind of like,
hey, dude,
was like, you got to be like on the ball, man. Like, you got to know your shit. You got to be like super pro and everything. Because originally the studio hired Seth Green.
Oh, I heard about that.
And Breckin Meyer from Clueless and stuff, the skater dude from Clueless. Like, they had those guys lined up to play the role. But thank God. I mean, because honest to God, you fucking douchebags from your fucking, corporate movie studios, that you soulless fucks. Like, how could you not realize... They always do that shit. If they would have, nothing against Brecken or Seth Green. I mean,
yeah, they're great.
Fine actors. Fine actors. They've even said themselves. Well, I guess they did. I think Seth Green said, he was like, Sajay was like, why would you have me play that guy when that guy is that guy? Like, why would you do that? That's just dumb. But, he was, because Seth Green and Breckenmeyer, they're more easily controllable, and all this shit. Ugh. Yeah, Jim Jacks, go fuck yourself, douchebag, fucking big studio douche. Yeah, thank God, Kevin, for a second time director, I mean, he didn't have a lot of backbone yet,
Right.
Now Kevin would be like, fuck you, I'll do what I want. But back then he didn't have it. Thank God he had enough wherewithal to be like, no, I gotta stand my ground on some of these things, because Jay and Silent Bob make that fucking movie. And that's a lot to be said, because there's so many amazing things in that movie. And of course, I'd be remiss, given what just happened, if I didn't mention that this movie has a major cameo by the man himself, Stan Lee. So, Stan Lee, if you folks, I'm sure most of you know, what was it, just 2 days ago?
Yeah.
3 days ago, Stan Lee passed away. He was old. He was like
95.
95.
Yes.
He lived a full, long fucking life, man. I mean, that dude.
And an impactful life.
Yeah.
Holy shit, impactful. I mean, never mind what he did for comic books and all that kind of stuff. The biggest movies, the biggest franchises of all time right now, next to Star Wars and, some of the horror things and stuff, or Jurassic World or whatever. Like, the biggest things are the Marvel universe. It's the Avengers and Iron Man and blah 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 and Guardians of the Galaxy. All that. That's all fucking Stan Lee, folks. That came now on. Before all you people get your panties in a bunch and you go, Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. Absolutely, those guys deserve so much props, and that's just been argued in fandom to death, no pun intended. So, but still at the heart of it all is Stan Lee. Stan Lee's still the guy that not only helped come up with that stuff, but he was the guy that knew enough to hire those guys and say, Steve, I want you to do Spider-Man. Jack, I want you to do Iron Man, so on and so forth. Wally Wood, fucking, Dick Ayers, fucking Gene Colan, all those guys. All because of Stan Lee having the genius that he did. So Mr. Lieber, Stanley Lieber, salute to you. So, and that whole gag, I mean, that, did you ever think you'd see somebody like Jason Lee in a movie looking at a man like Stan Lee face to face and asking him if the thing's dick is made of orange rock? It's those kind of things, It's just an incredible movie. I mean, I love a lot of the other movies.
And I'm sure at that time you were like, you can't have Stan Lee's in this movie. And you're talking about like that stuff with them. Now it's like, oh yeah, Stan Lee's in this movie. No big deal, whatever. But I'm sure
was a big
at
deal.
the time. It was a big deal.
Oh
right?
man, yeah. And this movie came. Well, I saw this movie. Like I said, it was like early '96 or whatever. '95. It was right when I was at the comic book store when I had the comic shop, because I did that in '96 through 2001. So this was the guy. This was the dude. And Stan Lee didn't appear in movies and stuff like that. It was amazing, and to be talking about the characters and to play himself, the whole thing, just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, I mean, again, this is another one that, and I'm trying not really hard not to do it tonight. I could ramble on forever about this, but
speaking of Guardians, old dude Guardian is in here.
Which
Guardian of
one?
the Galaxy, the dad.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You were right about that. God damn! See, this is what we've got her
Those
for.
chocolate pretzels, man.
I read somewhere that he wasn't supposed to be bald in the movie,
Right.
but he had a dye job go wrong or something.
Something
Is that-
like that.
Oh,
So
no.
he had to shave his head.
Really?
That's
that
why
was
he ended up bald.
perfect. It made him a perfect villain.
Yeah.
It
True.
made him a perfect
Little Lex
villain.
Luthor.
Ugh.
And what's funny about that is anytime there's been a bald villain kind of like him in other movies after that, I always think of Michael Rooker in this. Like Obadiah Stane and Iron Man, and what was another one? In Ant-Man, the guy in Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, anytime they have the guy in the suit, and I always think of Michael Rooker playing that character, Jared's Mr. Svenning. Yeah, Brandy's father. I love Michael Rooker. That guy's just great. Love him in fucking Guardians. Sad that the character.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
It's one of the best parts ever. But yeah, this is just this to me. Out of all of them, this is the movie that if you are a geek, if you are you love Star Wars, you love comics, you love video games, you hung out at the mall a lot, you did stupid things and had stupid misunderstandings and relationships with girls when you were 19 years old, and you look back and you're like, oh my God, what an idiot I was. This is the movie for you.
It's a staple.
Yeah. To me, this is the best teen movie. You could talk about American Pie and all that other shit. This is the best teen movie of the 90s. This is the one.
I'm down with that.
Cool. Moving on to the last one, kind of last two, technically, since Vito decided to join them together as one. We have to
One ring to bind them.
one ring to rule them all. We are going to talk about the Clerks saga, we'll call it.
There
All
you
right,
go.
That's fair.
1994's Clerks, and what was it, 2007?
I think so.
Was that when Clerks 2 came out?
Possibly.
Somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah, it was somewhere around about 2006.
There you go.
I love Clerks. And Clerks 2, well, you know what? I'm not even going to ramble on. This was, you chose Clerks and Clerks 2. You more specifically said if you had to choose, you would choose Clerks 2. So what is it about Clerks 2?
I think I have more fun watching Clerks 2.
Uh-huh.
Like, Clerks 1 is great. It's fucking hilarious, but I can see myself sitting down the whole time and watching Clerks 2 by myself, whereas the first one, I get into it and I like it, but Clerks 2 just has more of that brandish in your face humor, where Clerks is a little bit more clever, I guess, with the humor, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Clerks is way more just wordy.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
But the dialogue in Clerks is great when they go on those diatribes.
Oh,
and
sure.
The whole Death Star, like, are these contract workers like part of the, the Empire or whatever? Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The Chuli's gum or whatever that was. Yeah.
Chuli's, yeah. Man, fucking cancer merchants.
Yeah.
So Clerks 2, for me, I loved it when it came out. I saw it twice at the theater. Got it on DVD. It's another one that, if you get a chance, watch the bonus stuff. Real good bonus stuff.
Mm.
The bonus stuff made me like the movie more, actually. Getting more into the history of it. Because part of the reason why it took as long as it did, because Kevin kind of toyed with the idea of making the sequel on and off over the years. Part of the reason why it took as long as it did was because Jeff Anderson didn't want to do it. Jeff Anderson had, after Clerks, after that was done, he ended up getting married to the actress that played Caitlin.
Oh, really?
Yes. Lisa Spoonhour, who is now passed. We're getting into the negatives to keep talking about all these people have passed. Lisa Spoonhour passed away not too terribly long ago. But they got divorced prior to Clerks 2 and all this stuff. But I think Clerks was kind of a weird thing for Jeff, that he both appreciated it and hated it at the same time. He also, Jeff apparently thought that was going to be like the big springboard for his movie career, and it was not.
No. He went on to direct a movie, though, didn't he?
Yeah. It didn't do well.
No.
No. You need to, again, I won't talk about this. It'll take too long. Watch the bonus stuff on the Clerks 2 DVD or Blu-ray. It's actually really interesting getting into it. But thankfully, they got him back. I thought he did a really good job. Again, one thing I rarely, unlike the lead in Dogma, one thing that I rarely fault Kevin for is his casting choices. I love the cast of Clerks 2. The Elias is...
He's my favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah. Elias is amazing. Just thinking about it, just the whole... The movie's worth it just for the whole pillow pants scene.
Dude.
And even just the way he sells it, and
just Randall's like shocked expression, like, you believe this actually? It's just
not even
great,
just
man.
that he I don't think that Randall was even just shocked that he believed it, but he was shocked just at the whole concept of
Yeah,
it.
you're like,
Was just like, whoa, there's people out there that think and do this and tell each other that, and Lister Fiend. Yeah. That's your girlfriend's mouth troll, isn't it? Yeah, I can't. There's so much good stuff in this movie, but it didn't make my list. And again, watching it again hurt it, because when I first made this list, Clerks 2 was like number 3 or 4, and I watched it again, and I found too many things about it that got on my nerves. Jeff Anderson's portrayal of, or just the way Kev wrote it or whatever, the whole Randall thing, he was overly obnoxious in this movie. It got to be too much. He was obnoxious in the first movie, but I thought in the first movie he was cleverly obnoxious. He was a dick, but you were kind of like, I kind of, this guy's got good points, I get it and everything. In this movie, it was too much. And while it was cool to see him at the end finally open up and be a fucking human being,
I love that scene when they're in the jail Kevin does a great job at like the climax of the movie when the two main characters just fucking blow up at each other.
Yeah.
Those scenes are always fucking great. He like nails that all the time.
Can't argue with that. And there is redemption there for that. But I found myself when I was watching it last week, I was just like 2/3 of the way through the movie, and I was just like, oh, like I'm getting really annoyed with him, like not to the point where it's like entertainingly annoyed or I was just like, okay,
Enough.
It's a little much. It's also, I don't know. Whereas I could buy the Zach and Miri relationship, I had a harder time buying the chemistry between Dante and Rosario Dawson's character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought she did a really good. She's great. Rosario Dawson's great. I really like her as an actress, and I thought she did a really good job of trying to sell it. It just
feels like we missed something.
Yeah.
Wait, I needed more oomph or more. I don't know. I need more.
I get it.
It's just gonna went A to
Well, yeah, because they didn't
Z
really.
in no time.
Yeah, they didn't really show you the relationship. They just kind of said it like, "Oh yeah, remember
Yeah,
like
this
the
is
other
what it
week
is."
when we did that."
Yeah.
You're just kind of like,
It felt thin to
Yeah.
me. Like
Yeah.
it would have been better if they would have made it sound like this was something that had been going on over time, and but instead it was like they had sex one time and they were drunk on the prep table, which that's funny, but in and of itself. But then to suddenly turn into like, oh well, we're in love. I mean, I don't know. I get it, but it felt a little thin. And I also feel like, no offense to the man, because I'm a fan, but I feel like Brian didn't do as much justice to selling his end of it. I don't know. I don't know. There was just certain things about that movie, and there was stuff in there that there was just too many things in there that when I rewatched it, I was like, what is the point of this? Like, this is so great. What was the point of the fucking dance scene?
well, I mean,
I got if they would.
that's the only time you kind of felt like sort of a chemistry. They're trying to push that chemistry between the two
Right.
characters. It might not have gone over well, but that's
I don't have a problem with the dance scene up on the roof, but then when it turned into a big ensemble thing and there was all the
that
people
part. Oh yeah,
dancing,
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, well, see,
yeah.
Yeah, I
you're
forgot about
you're taking me out of the movie now.
Yeah, because I actually despise musicals. So when that came
Oh.
on, I was like, oh, deal
Well,
with
see,
it.
I
Yeah.
don't. I love musicals. Some musicals. I love musicals, but this isn't a musical, and it just felt so badly out of place.
Yeah.
It was things like that unfortunately, when it came down to it, when push came to shove, that I was just like, I think this is just an honorable mention for me. But it's still great. I mean, again, and I was mentioning to you before, possibly next to Mallrats, my favorite out of all the movies that Jay and Silent Bob are in, Clerks 2 might be my favorite Jay and Silent Bob performance.
The V-boy
Ooh.
scene.
The V-boy, yeah. Oh. Just putting the makeup on. Dude, but just the whole way, like the way Jay sold his character, because under normal circumstances, the idea that they were like born again and were clean and were on the wagon, but they were still them and still
Yeah.
selling weed.
Holy fucking Bible.
Not the holy, yeah, it's the holy fucking Bible, kid. Yeah, I mean, like under normal circumstances, you go, that's just stupid. He sold it beautifully. Like Jay sold it like that guy for not being, as many would say, a professional actor. Dude, that dude was fucking great, man. He sold that beautifully. And so while Clerks 2 didn't make my list, I think that is, next to Mallrats, that's the best Jay and Bob performance.
Yeah.
So as far as the first Clerks goes, I mean, it is what it is. It was so creative, talk about, again, inspiring all of us to take try to make something out of little to nothing, you know.
It's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's for everybody that's tried to, not saying that Kevin Smith was you know, far from the first to do it, but for our generation, he was that guy, maybe more than Tarantino or Linklater or any of them. He was that guy that made us go, holy fuck, we could actually do this, you know? If he could do that with 27 grand and just his buddies and a fucking hockey stick as a boom mic stand, he taped a mic to
is that where they got it from Zach and Miri then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's what they did. They couldn't afford a boom stand. Like we even have a fucking boom stand.
Well, now they're only like $15.
Yeah, they were probably more expensive back then, but maybe. But yeah, they took hockey sticks and they put the mics on there. That's
Awesome.
brilliant.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And just going, hey, we don't have a studio. Let's just make it here. Let's do it in here. You know, that movie is highly revered by critics, filmmakers, fans. It deserves it. You know, I mean, I'm sorry if people wish we had a little bit more in depth to say about it, but I mean,
what more do you say about Clerks? It's classic.
Yeah.
It's, you know, thank God that Kevin had the balls and the wherewithal to say, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go, because he had a lot stacked against him and everybody looking at him like, you're out of your mind. It's kind of how I feel, again, not to be sanctimonious, but it's kind of how I feel sometimes with this when I talk to certain friends or family and they're like, well, what are you doing what are you doing with this? And I'm like,
I don't get it.
yeah, exactly. That are just like, I don't understand. Why are you doing this? What is the point? Are you making money at this? Is this
Right.
And it's like, we know what we're doing. We're doing it because, you know, and even if it doesn't it will never be as big as Kevin Smith or anything like that. It's like,
Never say never.
well, you know,
Everybody starts somewhere, but it's just
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
fun to do. And you got to find something in your life that's fun to do, or else why the fuck are you living? Like,
yeah.
might not be a podcast for you, but it might be like writing a book, recording an album. Find something that you enjoy and just fucking do it, man.
Licking taints.
Yeah, if you like licking taints or eating ass, fucking go for it, man.
Vito, look,
took a
man, if
turn.
if there's one thing that we should have learned here,
Oh,
I think
yes.
you never go
You
ass
know
to
it is
mouth.
mouth.
You never go ass to mouth.
Well,
Sometimes in the heat of the
sometimes
moment,
it's okay.
it's okay to go ass to mouth. I knew it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, so I think we're going to end our list on that, on, you know, that's an incredible movie. It spawned this whole, you know, dynasty of other incredible movies. But, you know, real quick, because I know we got to wrap it up. We've been talking a long time. Let's get, so our honorable mentions. So, I mean, I already pretty much talked about all my honorable mentions because it would have been, you know, Clerks 2, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. The other honorable mention I would like to mention is Red State.
That's on mine.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there's not too much we could say about it because I only saw it. I saw it in like pieces, and then I know the whole movie. You saw it once, and Megan's never
You have
seen
to see it.
But
It's good. You got to watch it.
yeah, for being way outside of the standard Kevin Smith, which I'm not a fan of. I don't want Kevin Smith to walk, and we'll get to that in a second. I don't want him to walk that far outside of what I love about Kevin Smith movies, but this was well done. Disturbing.
Very disturbing.
Disturbing for a reason, because it is basically based on actual, I mean, it's a fictional tale and fictionalized version of certain people that are out there that like to fuck with other people based on their really, 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 really extreme religious beliefs and stuff like that. And again, I won't name names so you fucks can't, you know, come and sue us or whatever, because good luck with that. We ain't got it. No,
You ain't getting shit.
you know, we're one step away from
We
the
can take our boom mic.
I was saying, we're one step away from the hockey stick boom stand. So, you know, but anyway, knowing that that's what is based on, and knowing how scary that is, and seeing this movie and the state of things we're in, yeah, It's thought provoking. It's the kind of movie that'll make you'll people watch it and then you'll sit around for a couple hours and talk after it. You know what I mean? You're going to talk about it and everything. Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, if anybody knows where to find that, please let me know.
Yeah, because I'm thinking for the future, this might be a good movie for us to all sit down and watch, like really watch, so you see it again, we see it properly, and this might be a good one for even for the audio cast.
Yeah.
You know, to sit down and this would probably be a good subject to talk about on there. It's very interesting.
Okay.
Twist endings, stuff, yeah. Alternate endings too. I had so much to get into about that, but yeah. What about you, Vito? Was there any other?
No, it was just Red State for me.
Red State.
Yeah.
What about you?
I had a couple cop-outs.
Yeah, so
Bruce
she was a
Willis.
cop-out supporter.
Yeah, I did. I really like that. Was it Tracy Morgan?
Yeah.
Fucking awesome in this. He made the movie. Oh gosh, what is his name? The hippie guy in Jay and Silent Bob.
The hippie guy in Jay and Silent Bob.
Or he's singing. He's got the braces.
Oh, he's in American Pie.
Yes. What is that guy's name? That guy.
Oh, Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
He was great in this too.
Animals are beautiful creatures. Yeah, dude. There's some great outtakes of that, by the way, on Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back with him in that van. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah, there's shit you gotta.
He's great, man.
Yeah. So he was great in this too because he like tases Bruce Willis at one point, and he comes back. He's like. Later, he's like, "Oh shit, you're the dude I tased. Did you poop? Did you poo yourself a little?" He's like, "No, I didn't poo myself." He's like, "Cause I tased myself like 3 times whenever I was trying it out, and I just crowned. I didn't actually poo." Is it? And he's like, "It wasn't what I thought at all." And his character was fun.
Always poopy jokes are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it. I know a lot of people hate it, but then I've seen some people that are like, no, actually give it a chance.
Yeah, again, it's not like a Jay and Silent Bob movie. It's a standalone,
Right.
and I enjoyed it.
And what was your other?
My other one is actually not a movie. It's Reaper. It's a TV show.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I did. I avoided the TV shows and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a whole other.
Yeah, so that was the only one, Reaper. So I
What's
enjoyed
Reaper
it.
about?
It's about a boy. I can't remember. He turns 21 or something, and before his parents conceived him, his dad was really sick, and so they made a deal with the devil to sell their firstborn son's soul to the devil. Like, well, we're never gonna have kids because the dad was so sick he couldn't have kids anymore, and then. It turns out the devil made it possible to have the kid, so he got the soul. And so he's like the devil's bounty hunter because people keep escaping hell.
Oh, interesting.
So he's like their Ghostbuster. He's got to go around. He's like keeps getting different vessels to capture him in. Like one's a little dustbuster thing. He's got to capture him in that, and one's a little remote control car. He's like, how the fuck am I gonna catch a ghost in this, or not a ghost, but a bad guy in this? So
Interesting.
So it's cute. Each episode's a little new vessel.
Yeah.
It's like they have to go turn it into the DMV or something. It's like, these kind of vessels, you must be a real fucking idiot. So,
That's
like
funny.
turn it in pieces and like, what the fuck did you do to this? I think it's cute. I liked it.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. Yeah. And then real quick, I don't want to waste too much time on it because it ain't worth wasting time on. Our thanks, but no thanks. Vito?
Yoga Hosers and Tusk.
Megan?
I kept going back and forth between those two, and I think I finally settled on Yoga Hosers.
Yeah.
Okay. If I had to choose one, Yoga Hosers, my feeling about Yoga Hosers is that picking on Yoga Hosers is kind of like, that it's almost kind of like picking on a handicapped kid, you know what I mean? Like you don't do that. It's so, these Yoga Hosers is so dumb, so intentionally stupid.
But I like those dumb movies, like the Asylum movies on Sci-Fi
Right.
Channel. So I would like this movie, but I just didn't. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't get into it.
Well, a lot of people feel that way. I mean, it had some moments of chuckles for me and everything, but I mean, yeah, it's definitely down at the bottom of the heap there for him.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it had Johnny Depp. I had such high hopes. It's like, oh, he has like his entire fucking family in it.
I didn't know that was Johnny Depp
Yeah.
until the fucking credits. And I was like, wait a minute, he's in Tusk too.
Yep.
I was like, I didn't even fucking know that was him.
That's right. He is in
Yeah.
Tusk
Yep.
also.
He plays like the same character, right?
God damn.
basically.
How is that even possible? 2 worst movies and they both have Johnny Depp.
I don't know.
Because I don't know what the fuck Kevin Smith is thinking anymore.
There was one, I think it was in Yoga Hosers where his mole kept changing. Was
Kept
that
moving?
right? Was that?
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Hey, I guess he was probably the best part of Yoga Hosers.
Yeah.
Yoga Hosers, I don't know if this makes any sense. I still feel like it had a little bit of heart to it. You know, maybe because I knew more about it when he was making it and listening to his podcast and everything. So I expected that to be completely fucking dumb and ridiculous. And it was. Which isn't to excuse it. Doesn't excuse it, you know. But for me with Tusk, like I told you guys before, like, here's the thing. First of all, I just don't like those kind of movies. I'm not big on that kind of stuff. And I don't like when there's animal-human hybrid things like that. Even when it's supposed to be done in a dark comedy way, I don't like that. I saw Invasion of the Body Snatchers at the fucking drive-in when I was 5 years old.
That'll do it to you, I guess, right?
And when the one guy when he and his dog were in the same pod, and so when it came out, that little schnauzer dog had his face on it. When I was 5, dude, no, that I still remember. Like, that traumatized me. And when I was a kid, I remember seeing the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe cartoon when I was like 6. Me and my cousin Russell watched it, and it was the first time I'd ever seen centaurs and minotaurs and stuff, and I was like, no. There was just something about it. There's something ever since I was I don't know what it is. I don't like human animal hybrid things, especially when they're really disturbing. Like,
Yeah.
don't like that. And so I already don't like that. I like Justin Long, you know.
Mhm.
I like the actor. It just, the whole movie, people might disagree with me, it felt dark and mean and sad.
There was like no redeeming qualities I found at all in that movie.
No, there wasn't. Like, I kept waiting for something to happen to make me go, oh, it just ends on a fucking downer.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the whole thing. I'm like, look, Kev, like, here's the thing. Kevin Smith, here's the thing. If you feel like we're being unfair to you because you're like, man, Tusk is a fucking good movie. Look, man, here's the thing. It's not a particularly good movie, but even if the things that are redeeming about it, most of us watch Kevin Smith movies because we want to feel good. We want to get away. We need those ridiculous laughs. We need dick and poopy jokes in our life. You know what I mean? We need that more than ever lately. Lately, with the way the world is and everything, we need that. You know, I understand. You know, like I said, you did Red State. Red State, man, that was a good movie. That was a heavy movie in a lot of ways. Very heavy. You know, but it was well done. Like Tusk, it just felt. Like I said, I just felt bummed. I was like, oh man, you know, I've never watched. There have been Kevin Smith movies I loved and other ones I didn't care for as much, but I never felt bummed. And for me personally, other people might be like, oh, it didn't bum me out at all. For me personally, why it's my number one no, you know, thanks, but no thanks. It just bummed me the fuck out. And I'm like, I do not watch Kevin Smith movies to get bummed out. So stop bumming me out, dude. You know? And so that's where I'm at with that. But, you know, it sounds to me like he's kind of maybe coming around.
Hopefully.
Although, wasn't he talking about making some sort of like Christmas horror movie thing next or something like that?
Yeah, it was the Krampus or something like that, wasn't it?
Right, but I think he might have changed it because they came out with the Krampus. People basically stole his idea. You know, which sucks. But you know, it's like, dude, come on, man. Like, I'd rather see him tackle something else entirely. Like the horror movies, like fuck. Every fucking hack fuck in the planet makes horror fucking movies, you know? Or at least if he's gonna do that, I don't know. Do something else. I don't
do a found footage movie.
Hey, that's a good
There you
idea.
go.
Somebody should do that. Somebody should make a funny found footage movie. Should think about that.
You know a guy
I might know
or
a guy.
gal?
I got a plan.
You got a plan?
I got a plan.
You got a plan.
What's
Yes,
your
I
plan?
do. Operation. Let's make a fucked up found footage movie.
Yeah, I am totally
We're
down with that.
on
plan.
it.
That
We already
just.
got part of a script going. If you only knew. That's all I'm giving them.
You're giving it away.
That's all I'm giving them. I gave it away. Fuck you too. You gave it away.
We promise it doesn't have anything to do with bananas or pickles. I think our cameras are dying, are they?
Yeah, shit's going down.
Two
All
guys
right.
up top are. These
Yeah.
guys are going strong though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I
all
think
that
we're
matters.
okay. All right. Well, we're done anyway, man. We reached the end. I'm sure this one is fucking like 3.5 hours long again or something like that.
Yeah, we'll keep it down at 2 hours in this one. For sure we won't.
Right.
We may be breaking this one up into 2 episodes again. That's another thing. For any of you, for all 5 of you that watched it, did you like the 2 episode thing? Did you mind us breaking it up into 2 halves like that? Did it not really make a difference either way? Let us know, because if people would prefer us to break these up a little bit to make it easier to consume in smaller doses, tell us, Say
We aim
something.
to please.
Yeah. Not
Kind
really.
of.
Yeah, no, not really. We aim to please ourselves, basically.
We're just looking for like the least amount of work possible to do.
We're looking for self-pleasure. We're always into self-pleasure and flagellation and whatnot. So.
Double Dutch rudder, man. That's all I got.
Double Dutch rudder. You say we're not touching dicks, You just hold my arm. That's it. Just,
You guys don't know what I gotta do. What I gotta deal with.
at least we don't make you do the double Dutch rudder, huh? Benefit of being the female here.
Right?
Lucked
Lucked out of that one.
All right, everybody. Thanks for sticking around with us. For those, like we said, that are here in the U.S. of A., we hope you had a wonderful, safe, happy Thanksgiving. We are going to be back soon. We're going to have the audio cast. We're going to have more of these other things we've been talking about. Before you know it, we'll be announcing what our Christmas episode's going to be, and I think that one's going to be spectacular, maybe even super. Might be super duper. So there's your hint for the Christmas episode. It could be super
Or nuclear.
or nuclear. It could go nuclear. Yeah. Oh God. We're going to have to talk about that one, aren't we? Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
we will.
That fucking movie. Oh, boy. All right. We'll be back before you know it, folks. So peace out. Snooch to the nooch.
See ya.
Later, bitches.
Metal.
Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the podcast.
Let us know what you think in the comments, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Please click on the links in the description to follow us, and make sure you hit that subscribe button below.
And if you want to help us out, please check out our Patreon page as well.
We'll be back with more soon.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Holy shit, did we do it?
Yeah, we did it.